Previously on They Caught Me. Erick Colon was gunned down while walking home during the early morning hours of September the 10th, 2008. He was walking home in a suburb of Jacksonville, Florida, when he was robbed and shot. His phone ended up in the possession of 17-year-old Markel Thomas. Markel steadfastly claimed that he purchased the phone from an unknown man named D. He claims that he purchased this phone while he and his roommate Hector were hanging out at a park. He also claims that Hector knows the identity of D, and that Hector was actually the one who called D to meet them. After speaking with Hector, detectives have found their man, a guy named Demetrius, aka D. He is summoned to the police station to explain for us where he got this phone of the deceased.
No, sir.
Just have a seat and move back.
Do they call you D?
They call me, yeah, they call me D.
Okay.
Have a seat, we'll be right this minute, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, man. You open that up, man?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Demetrius, what's your full name, Demetrius?
Demetrius.
How you say that?
Demetrius.
Okay. And you're how old?
19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
And where we went was your mother's house?
Mm-hmm.
Torres Circle.
Mm-hmm.
And where you living at, D?
Across the street from Sam's Club, Lindsay Terrace Apartments.
Oh, is that right across from the
Mm-hmm.
Sam's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what apartment you living in?
Apartment.
Okay. Demetrius, you understand that you are free to come and go as you please?
Mm-hmm.
That you're not under arrest and you can leave at any time?
Mm-hmm.
You drove yourself up here
Mm-hmm.
and you can drive yourself out of here. I just want to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Hey, come on in. You remember, this is Detective Ken West.
Mm-hmm.
Just wants to sit in because sometimes I forget some things.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just kind of going over where he's at. Hey, what is your cell phone number? Okay, have you got any more cell phones? Or is that,
I got another cell phone line.
what's that number?
It's my friend. I added him on my T-Mobile bill. It's
Okay, both at 945?
Yeah.
And the both of your lines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who's that phone with?
my friend Bruce. He used to work at the dog track.
I mean, is that Verizon or
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long you had that one?
I had it for about 2 months now.
About 2 months. And you working, correct me if I'm wrong, you working at the Orange Park Kennel Club at the dog track.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do there, D?
Walk the dogs, put them in the box. Basically, a ring room, we put the blankets on the dogs, make sure they don't fall during the race. That's pretty much all we have to do. Every race, make sure the dogs don't fall.
You mean fall when they're walking in there?
During the race, they have to run,
Yeah.
and sometimes they trip up and fall. We have to get out, get the dog, and bring it to the veterinarian and make sure it's okay.
Okay. Now, you used to work there, you left, or
Mm-hmm.
when did you first go to work there?
I know the exact date. It was 8/29/07.
Well, it was about a year, a little
Mm-hmm.
over a year ago then.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you work there?
I worked there for about 8 months, and then I quit, and then I came back last month.
Last month was September?
Yeah, September 22nd.
Okay, so you've been back about a week or two.
I've been back a month now.
Well, September 22nd.
I mean, wait, 8? Oh, I haven't been back that long. Yeah, it hasn't been a month yet.
So it's been a couple weeks
Yeah,
or
it's been a
something
couple
like
weeks.
that.
Yeah, it's just seemed.
When you left, why'd you leave? Did you get another job or?
I left because I was making enough money at the shop, and then like at the dog track, I get into it sometimes with some people up there. Like I wouldn't get into it big, but they would intentionally mess with me.
You mean
Like
like
my
people that work
boss,
with you?
yeah, like my boss would. He would be like, not my mate, not the top boss, the guy under him. His name's Herb. He's like, like he'll mess with me. He'll be like, "Hey, you want to get off tonight?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll write my name on the paper." And he'll be like, "Oh, you can't get off. I'm sorry." He does that to everybody.
He just be pain.
Yeah.
I know people like that, man.
Yeah, he does that to everybody. So what I do is, like my friend said, he's like, "Hey, it's a win-win situation. If you got to work, you're making money. If you get off, then you get off." So I was like, "Yeah." So whenever he says it now, I'm just like, "Oh, I got to work. Yes, I get more money." So
okay. Now you cut hair too, right? Mm-hmm. Where you cut hair at?
Magic Touch. It's right where I stay at, real close. I can walk there.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it over by the by your apartment?
Yeah.
So it's over there.
Yeah.
Is that Youngerman Circle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many days a week you work at the dog track?
I work at the dog track back then or right now?
Right now.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay. And what's your shift there?
I work Sunday. I work 1 to 5 in the afternoon. Monday I work 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 11:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
Then Friday I work again from 7 to 11:30. Saturday from 7 to 11:30.
Okay. And what kind of car do you drive?
I have the blue Honda out there. Okay. I have a Cavalier at the house, but I just got a tag for it. I couldn't drive it. I had sold it to one of my friends, but he didn't pay me all the money, so I had to come get it. And he got the tag confiscated. I just got a tag put back on.
So the Honda, what year is the Honda?
94.
That's the one you drove up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's yours?
Mm-hmm.
Now the Cavalier,
mm-hmm.
What year is it?
98.
What color is it?
It's red. It's got a big old dent in the side.
Does it? How many doors does it have?
2 door.
Okay. And who was the fellow that...
Who used to drive it?
Yeah.
My friend Odemar tells for, but it's been sitting in my parking lot for a long time.
Does it run now or?
It runs, but if you try to hit the brakes, you're gonna crash. I mean, you can't drive that. You hit the brakes on that, it's done.
I got
it needs a new brake.
Do you ever drive it anymore? Or just sits out there?
I don't want to drive it because of the brakes.
Okay.
And
so is it registered to you?
It's registered.
Does it have a tag?
It's got a tag. Don't have insurance.
Okay. All right. Now, who do you live with?
I stay with me. I have 2 roommates. My friend Dante and my friend Brandon Warner.
Brandon Warner.
Right.
What's Dante's last name?
Dante. I don't know his last name.
Y'all stay. What apartment y'all? I might have asked you.
Yeah, that's fine.
What apartment?
It's Lindsay Terrace. Stay in Building 5. Building 5. Our apartment number is 521.
Okay.
2-bedroom. Dante, you gotta sleep on the couch right now.
Oh man, he's an odd man out.
Yeah, until we get 3-bedroom next month. And Brandon, his mom owns the shop I work at.
Okay. Let me ask you about some people at work.
Mm-hmm.
Markel.
Mm-hmm.
How well do you know Markel?
I just see him at work, and after work I just say bye or whatever. Other than that, I never spent time with him at work.
Have you ever seen him away from work?
Never seen him like in the store or nothing like that. All right, nowhere. I went to the club 2 weeks ago, and he came to the club with a couple of his friends, and I said, "Hey."
Do you know who his friends were?
Yeah, this friends at the track. It was Hector and somebody worked at the track named Hector. Some girls from the track. It was just normally when we go to the club, we bring like everybody from work. It's just like a work thing. Everybody from work just comes out and has fun together. So I seen him at the club. That was the only time I've actually seen him out.
Okay. And when was that?
First time I went to the club, it was 10th last month. It was either 10th last month, it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago on Wednesday night.
Okay. When you work, Markel is working. Do y'all do the same? Do y'all work the same? You handle the dogs and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how many dog handlers are there?
There's okay. It depends on what day there is. Okay, if it's the weekend, there's 12 people doing it because there's more people, so they're making more money. So okay, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's 12 people, and Monday is the only day I work, which is there's not 12 people, there's 8 people. So,
and you work sometimes with Markel?
Yeah.
And does he know you by Demetrius, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about this other employee, Hector.
Hector?
Do you know what Hector's last name is?
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Okay. Torres, I think it is.
Sanchez, Torres.
Torres or Sanchez.
Okay. Do you know where he's at right now?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Tell me how you know Hector.
I work with him too. Back when we first started working at the track, we used to be cool, we used to be friendly and everything, but then he started acting real mean and stuff towards me. Like he wouldn't be.
You ever
like,
fight with him or?
The only time we had an altercation with each other, it's a long story, but I ain't got no problem telling you. All right. This girl I talked to, Liz. I know this is way out there. I used to talk to her, and his girlfriend, Hector's girlfriend. I used to play football with her brother, so me and her were tight. We used to work at the track together, and he saw us getting kind of tight, so he was kind of like, okay, why are they getting tight? So we were just friends. So I asked his girlfriend to do me a favor one night, to go to the club and go see him.
So he got mad about all that?
Yeah, he got mad, but then after that we tried to resolve it and be cool after that. We were cool after that.
Okay.
Like, we didn't have a problem after that.
All right. So did you quit then and then come back?
That's about the time I quit because there was like a lot going on.
Well, when did you exactly quit? Do you remember?
February or March. It was one of those.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a little problem with him about this girl, and then
Yeah.
you left, but and then you came back last month. Okay. Have you ever seen Hector away from a dog track?
Let me think. I think I might have seen it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if I seen him in the store. I cut his hair a couple times at the shop, and I cut his cousin's hair. But in the store, like just running to him in the store or hanging out with him, I wouldn't hang out with him.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you a question. I don't want to mean to get personal with you, and it's fine. I want to know if you've ever smoked weed before.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever smoked weed with Hector?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever smoked weed with Markel?
Not with Markel, with Hector.
Okay.
When I first started at the dog track.
Okay. How many times do you think you smoked with Hector?
That was a long time. It was like 10 times. That's when I first started working the track. And I had to stop so I could get hired back because we have to take piss tests to get hired back. But
So where would y'all smoke at?
at my apartment. That's when I first got my apartment. That's when we first.
That's the same apartment you at now?
Yeah.
Okay. So he come over and y'all
Yeah.
smoke
Everybody,
weed?
a lot of people from the track would come over. We all smoke.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you again. Have you ever smoked with Markel? Okay. Do you know the streets around Orange Park? You know how to get around Orange Park?
Orange Park. Yeah, I live here. Well, I lived here for like 10 years. But are you talking about Orange Park over here?
Yeah.
No, not here. Argyle mostly.
Okay.
And Normandy.
Okay. Let me ask you this. In the last couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, have you ever received a telephone call from Markel?
I think I've received a phone call where he was asking me for somebody else's number. I think I did. I think I did get a phone call from him.
Was it about, do you remember?
I just got my phone bill today. I just got my phone. It's at my mom's house. I threw it away. I can go get it if you need me to.
Did you, do you know what the conversation was about?
He was either asking me for somebody's number or he was asking me how you can get a ride to work with somebody or something. It was brief.
How about, did you get a call from Hector in the last 3 or 4 weeks?
I never talked to him on the phone. No, we don't talk on the phone no more. Ever since the baby mama thing, we never don't talk.
You don't
Just
smoke
seeing that
anymore?
work. I had to quit so I can go back to the track.
Okay. So you never got a phone call from Hector in the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks saying, hey, I need some weed or something like that, and met with him and Markel? Okay. Have you ever gave or sold a cell phone in the last month?
Gave a cell phone. I had a phone before this. I didn't give it to neither one of them. I gave it to Bruce, which is the other person on the phone line. His phone cracked because I upgraded. So he got my old phone. That's the only phone.
Okay. So you never had a phone Have you ever had a boost phone?
Never. Never.
Has anybody ever gave you a boost phone?
Mm.
And in the last 3-4 weeks, you've never met Markel or Hector and traded them a phone or sold them a phone or smoked dope with them?
No.
Okay. Would it surprise you if I told you that Hector was in jail right now for murder? Have you heard that?
I heard that, but I didn't know if it was true. I heard it from like 2 people, but I'm like, nah, man, Hector. Then I started thinking about I haven't seen him at work. So I was like, something ain't adding up. But I'm like, he don't seem like he'd do nothing.
Let me ask you this. Is there anybody else that you know of around the dog track or Argyle who goes by the name of D?
Not that I can think of.
Is there any other Demetrius that you know of that's in and around this area? Okay. Would it surprise you that your phone number was in Hector's cell phone?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me because he used to have it from when we used to talk. But him calling me, that would surprise me because I don't remember him picking up unless Mark called.
Do you think you could get that old phone bill?
Yeah, I get it.
And because they're saying that they met with you, Markel, or they met with a. Hector says it was you. He spelled your last name. That he met with you before he got arrested. He got arrested last week. He said that him and Markel met with you, and Markel says he met with a guy named D, but he doesn't really know him and all that kind of stuff, but evidently he does know you. And that you guys met in Orange Park on a little street over by one of the schools, and you sold or a guy named D sold a cell phone to them, and that's not you, correct?
It's not me.
Okay.
I swear on my life. I don't know why.
I understand. I believe it.
I mean, that's scared.
Right.
Because I didn't have nothing to do with this, and now my name's in it, and now they're saying this. To me, it's scaring me. I get the phone bill, whatever I got to do.
Yeah, and it's like this here, we just want to prove them as being liars. That's all. Because we need to just move on and in another direction. But we had to talk to you to see what was going on. If you did meet with them, or somebody gave you a cell phone, maybe some guy at the dog track may have handed you a cell phone, and you said, "Well, I got 2. I'll sell it and make a little money off of it." Could that have happened?
I never had any other cell phone. I had this phone since I went to barber school for 2 years. I had no other phone. Nobody ever gave me a phone.
Is Hector in your cell phone or?
No. I don't have his number. I don't have Markel's number.
Okay.
I go get my phone bill, but I have no other phone. I have not sold no other phone.
Okay. Does your phone bill show incoming, outgoing calls?
Everything.
Okay. Would it be going back to September 10th?
It goes
or something
back all last month.
Okay. All right. That would be helpful if we could get that. And when Hector and Markel, when they were working together, were they really tight?
Yeah, they lived together. They got an apartment together.
Did they hang out with anybody at the dog track now that is like really tight with them?
They used to hang out with somebody named Toby.
Toby?
I didn't like him. He was like...
What's his last name?
Toby. That wasn't even his real name. It was, I don't know. But he used to hang out with them. He used to steal and smoke and stuff
Steal
like that.
from
He stole
employees?
from me. I bought him lunch. He stole from me the same day I bought lunch. That's why I was never cool with him again. But he used to hang out. I don't know how tight they were. Yeah. I think him and Toby didn't hang out no more because Toby started stealing from him. But anybody else to hang out with, not really. I can't think of.
So they more or less, since Hector hadn't been there, has Markel been hanging out with anybody specifically up there?
At work, I just see him working and talking to people. I don't see him hanging with nobody.
Let me ask you this. You remember about 3 weeks ago when a young man was killed out there in Argyle, down off of Cheswick Oaks?
Lindsay Terrace? Dude, Lindsay Terrace?
No. It's down there for the, you know, where the McDonald's is, like you going out to the Oak Leaf.
No.
Have you ever
I heard about that one.
What'd you hear about it?
I heard kids on the bus saw a little kid, saw somebody floating in the lake, and then.
Have you ever heard about anybody being shot back there? Okay. Nobody at work talking about anything like that? You ever heard the name Erick Colon?
No, it's my first time hearing it.
Okay. All right. And when's the last time you physically saw Markel?
Saw him today.
Thursday.
Wednesday. I saw him yesterday. I want to pick up my check.
Did he say anything to you?
I walked in, and then he was looking for my boss. And I said, hey, what's up? He said, no. I was like, you coming to pick up your check too? He said, no, I'm coming to, I just need to find Herb. I was like, oh, I don't know where he's at. And I sat down. I waited to get my check.
And the last time you saw Hector, physically saw him?
2 weeks ago. 2, 3 weeks.
Was it at work?
Yeah, it was only at work. I only see him at work.
Did he say anything about anything that was out of the
He was
ordinary?
acting normal. He was acting like he always act. I never even thought of none of this would ever come.
You ever heard of them carrying guns or anything like that?
Yeah, I know Hector. He used to carry. He used to have a shotgun back when I first worked at the track. He got a shotgun. Then he was like, "Yeah, I got a shotgun now." Started bragging. So then, this was after the altercation. So I just kind of like stayed away from him because I didn't want no problem with him.
Did you ever see him with a gun?
See him with the shotgun? I seen him like, I never saw it. So I was like, I don't believe he got it. He's just talking about it because they always used to talk. They used to be at work acting like they're hard. Yeah, we got guns. I'm like, yo, a gun don't make you man.
You mean him and Markel would say that?
I never hear Markel talk about that, but I hear this. Hector's cousin used to work at the track with us, and he used to like, I forgot why me and him had got into it, but he used to be like, yeah, well, we got a shotgun now, we got a shotgun. Always saying that about me. Like I try to like ignore it, cause I used to get mad. I'm like, man, I'm tired of y'all coming to me saying you got a shotgun and stuff. I'm like, what y'all gonna shoot me or something? Cause if y'all trying to shoot me, people already know that y'all got a shotgun and y'all saying that. Right. So I'm like, it's stupid y'all saying we got a shotgun. Like they used to boast about it all the time.
Anything? Can you just hang tight just a minute?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How old are you?
19.
Now, D came off as being quite credible. However, his statement did contradict both Hector and Markel's statements. Nonetheless, the detectives believe there is no reason to pursue this theory about D selling Markel a cell phone. So they revisit Hector. Why Hector? Because in his last interview, Hector said that they met D in the park and smoked with him. Basically, Hector straight up made up a story to match Markel's account. So they go to him and confront him. And guess what? He freaking confesses. He even makes a written statement. So they bring him back to the interrogation room to get his statement on camera. And he has a change of heart. Have you noticed that I don't have ads playing every 4 to 5 minutes throughout my videos, effectively ruining your viewing experience? Well, I did it for you. I moved my ads into 2 separate commercial breaks, one in the middle of the video and one near the end. This should effectively give you extremely long periods of ad-free crime action. If you want to reward me for trying to give you a better viewing experience, you could do so by watching the complete video until the end. Thanks, friends.
Right here to your left. Give us 1 second, we'll be right back.
Huh?
Call your number, motherfucker. All those cuffs too tight?
Oh no,
Okay.
You need any water or anything? You good? Okay. Initially, I made contact with you over at the jail, and we just talked about this case. At first, thing I did was I read you your rights, and I asked you, did you understand them? And you said
yes.
yes. Okay. And you agreed to talk with me, correct? Okay. And I've asked you to come over here so that I could record your conversation with me because of your statement and talking. Okay. So what I want to do is basically start from the beginning, all right? And I want you to basically tell me what happened from the beginning and just kind of go through. And if something I don't understand, I'll ask you, or a question to identify what we're talking about. Okay. So on this particular day, which was you said you thought it was around
It's like a weekday, so probably like around Thursday or Friday or something.
Okay, that you and tell me what happened. Markel Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, and
We get off of work early, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Then
Okay.
we hop in my car. As we hop into the car, you know what I'm saying, we go to my house first, trying to figure out what we're going to do. And then as we're going through, we decide we want to smoke. So we start calling people, his connections on his phone, and I'm calling people from my phone. So we're doing that at my house for about half an hour to an hour. So it's probably around 7, 8:30.
Okay.
No luck, so we start talking about what we want to do. So we just want to get out the house. So we go. When we get out the house, we're still calling people to try to smoke, trying to figure out what we're going to do. So as time goes on, now we're just driving around. We end up going off up to Orange Park area. And then he knew somebody that stayed in Lindsay Terrace that's sold weed or whatever. So we went into there, called him, but nobody answered. So we just kept on driving. So we just decided to keep on driving past Argyle. Once we reached McDonald's, to the area where his parents stay, we made a left on the McDonald's sign. Once we went there, we just kept on driving past the first light, the storage place on the left hand side. We kept on driving. We seen the individual, victim, on the side of the road. Looked like he was talking on the phone or something, just walking on the sidewalk. So we was talking, decided to rob him or something. You know what I'm saying? So as we were going through, we drove back. I drove down like 2 or 3 more blocks. You know what I'm saying? We were scoping out the area to make sure everything was cool. Once we seen everything was alright, we turned around, still looking around. And then we seen him, because now we're on the opposite side of the road that he was on. So once we kind of got a glimpse of him, see that he's still walking, we turned into the neighborhood right in front of the area where he's going to cross.
Mm-hmm.
Once we do that, go to the first house. I go in, drive up, turn around and everything. And then right across the driveway or the street, there's another house, but with the lights turned off. So I park right in the middle of the house. We turn off the lights and everything, and I wait as Markel gets out the car. Once Markel gets out the car, he starts walking, with a gun in the pocket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he starts walking towards where the victim is supposed to be, I guess he walked right past him and then turned around and said something to him. And then not the suspect, but the individual turned around. And as they were talking, that's when I got out the car. And then I was going to attempt, because I was going to go hit him. As I was on my way to go hit him, I seen Markel pull out a gun, pointed at his head, and told him to empty out his pockets. The dude just, gave him the stuff, pulled it out, just gave him everything. Markel snatched the stuff pretty much almost immediately, if not a minute, 30 seconds after. He pulled the trigger while I was still running towards it, you know what I'm saying? Everything happened so quick. So as I was still running, I was like, oh, what the fuck? So then I turned around, and I was like, man. And then once he ran back to the car, I was like, man, what the hell happened? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Why you do that, man? And then I was like, that's not how it's supposed to go down. And he was like, man, don't worry about it, just go. So as we kept on driving or whatever, I made a left out to the thing going straight back to the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. We just asked him what he got. He pulled out some weed, some money, and a cell phone. We was going through the phone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Markel later turned it off and took the battery out and put it on my side door. After that, we just took the weed. I had the weed in my hand, and we was like, okay, we gonna smoke tonight. Dude had probably like $50-$60 on him. We split it in half. We started driving, head down the Rampart. We make a left, just drive all the way down till we get to Wilson, make a right. Then we head there, and then there's a BP gas station on the right hand side. We pull into there, buy a blunt, I think like 2 blunts. Then after that, we just go to my apartment. I think my mom's house still. And then we go in there and smoke. Then after that, if I'm correct, if we didn't get the apartment yet, I took him back to his mom's house. And then I came back home, and that was it. And then we never talked about it again.
And never mentioned to you at all, ever again.
Well, like, he mentioned it in a way, but without mentioning it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because we had some friends talking about, you know, stuff they was robbing, houses they were hitting. And then he was just like, you remember our lick, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the only thing we ever done together.
Okay. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. You said that y'all, on that day you left work. What time did you leave work on that day?
Probably like around 7:30, somewhere like that, 7:30.
And on a normal day, what time would you get off?
11:30, 11:45.
So again, you got off early that day?
Yeah.
All right. When you leave work, what are you wearing?
I'm still wearing my uniform, the khaki pants with the green shirt.
And the green shirt is a
Dog track and symbol shirt.
and so it has an emblem of the dog track on it.
Well, the name was it, Jacksonville Greyhound Racing.
That's how it looks. All right, so it says
Yeah.
Jacksonville Greyhound Racing on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does Mark Hill have on?
He has on like the same shorts, but like a different shirt, like a white beetle, like a white tank top or like a white shirt or something.
Okay. And when he leaves work, he has on.
The white beetle, the white tank top or.
But when he's working with you, he
He has
wears
a green shirt, the same green
the
shirt.
same green shirt you
Yeah.
have. So he took off that green shirt, and
Yeah.
now he's got his white beater on.
Because we got lockers over there, so I'm
I'm-
gonna keep all that.
And y'all leave there, and you go back to either your mom's apartment or your
Or-
apartment,
yeah.
depending if you can't remember if you had gotten y'all's apartment together yet
Yeah.
before this incident. Okay. You go back there and you change clothes.
Yeah. I changed out of my work clothes, just like
Okay.
into some jeans and stuff.
Okay. And Markel keeps what he has on.
Yeah.
Okay. And at what point that you had said where he picked up this gun at? Where was it at?
If we had the apartment, it had to be in my house, at our apartment because we share an apartment. If not, he had it in the book bag.
Okay. And so y'all leave the apartment and y'all go start riding around. But before you leave the apartment, y'all call from your cell phone and his cell phone trying to find people to buy weed from. And unsuccessfully, y'all don't find any. Y'all leave then and you start driving, and he says, let's go by Lindsay Terrace Apartments. This is because he knows someone there that sells weed.
Yeah.
And that's what puts y'all over into the Argyle area. Okay. And the main road y'all were coming down, you said was where the McDonald's is?
No, I think that's Argyle.
Argyle Forest Boulevard? Okay. So you come down from, is that the same road Lindsay Terrace Apartments is on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lindsay Terrace is like down here at the beginning. Once you turn off Landon, and the McDonald's is down
farther down. Okay. And then from Blanding Boulevard, where Argyle Forest starts at, where you're referencing in Lindsay Terrace Apartments, the McDonald's that you turn at, is that the first McDonald's you see? Or is there any other McDonald's before that one?
No, that's the only McDonald's.
That's the only McDonald's
Well,
there is?
from the first McDonald's, I would
Correct.
say. Yeah.
So that when you're coming down, it's the first McDonald's.
Yeah, on the
And you
left-hand
turn,
side. Make a left.
make a left. But that road, you don't know the name of it. Okay. And as you're driving down that road, you get a ways down and you said there was a storage unit,
On the left hand side.
business on the left-hand side, and there's a red light. And you said the red light is where who lives?
Markel's dad.
So you would turn at the red light,
Yeah.
left or right?
Right.
Turn right at the red light to go to Mark Hill's parents' house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we kept straight. So.
But you went straight.
Yeah.
And as you're driving straight, that's when you saw the individual, the
On the side of
victim,
the street.
walking on the side of the road. And you saw him in that area where the red light was?
Like a little patch.
just past the red light. Okay. And y'all drove past him. And you went down how far?
Like about 2 or 3 more neighborhoods.
Okay. And then you did what?
Made a U-turn. Like we would start to go into the into the neighborhood, and then from there.
Just to clarify this, if you're taking a left at that McDonald's and you're going down that street, you would be going south. If you were coming back towards McDonald's, you would be going north. So which way were you going?
First we was going south, and then like after the 3rd neighborhood area, we turned around and started going back north.
Okay. So you do your U-turn, and you're now coming back towards Argyle Forest, towards McDonald's. And you come back how far?
We turned like right before like we started. I know we passed like another block or 2, the same ones we passed, and then once we see like the individual like in a slight perspective where you could just pretty much at like the corner of your eye or whatever. Once we see him, we turn into the first neighborhood. That's gonna be like he's gonna walk in front of us.
Okay. So you drive down 2 or 3 blocks, you do the U-turn, you come back up, and you're just saying the first block. So once you leave the red light,
The first
block after that, you take a
right,
a right or a left.
Well, yeah, coming back. Yeah.
You would take a left into that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. So you turn down this street, and you go down about how far?
That's like the first house, first or second house.
And you do what?
Go into the driveway, make a U-turn. Back it up, and then face
pull
towards
back forward. So now you're headed back towards the main road that you had just turned left off of. Okay. And at that point, you pull to the side of the road.
I'll pull up in front of the first house, like halfway, because the lights are turned off.
The lights on the house are turned off.
Yeah.
So it shades you.
Yeah.
Okay. You park there, and you're driving the vehicle. Okay. And Markel Thomas is in the passenger seat. Who else is in the car with you?
It's just me and him.
You and him only. Okay. And you're driving what car?
My car, 2004 Chevy Cavalier.
And it's what color?
Red.
And how many doors does it have?
4.
Okay. You park on the side of the road. Markel gets out of the vehicle. And where does he go?
He starts walking towards like the main street, towards the sidewalk where the individual is coming from, pretty much to like intersect with him.
Okay. Now, before he gets out of the car and he starts walking up there, you'd already knew that he had the gun. And y'all had already discussed that that the plan was to rob this boy y'all were looking for weed.
Weed or money or something.
Weed or money, okay. So he gets out of the car and you said that he had his gun in his back pocket. Okay. And you said that when you went, he either got the gun from your house or the backpack. But earlier you had said that he got it out from underneath the passenger seat.
Yeah, that's when we got to the place that we were going.
Okay, so
like, once we got to Argyle or whatever, because he put it under my seat.
Okay, so you're saying that when he stores the gun out of sight, out of mind, it's either in the backpack or at the apartment. But at this time, he had already taken it and put it under the passenger seat or the driver's seat?
Passenger seat.
Where he was sitting. And you say he takes the gun out from underneath the seat, and you see him put it in his pocket. And then he gets out of the vehicle, and the plan is to rob us. Okay. And at that point, you stay in the car or you get out of the car?
At that point in time, I'll stay in the car.
Okay. But what was the plan for you? What was the plan for you to help him, Markel?
Once he got the dude's attention, like back towards me, I was gonna run out the car, and I was gonna jump him from behind, like attack him from behind.
Okay. So you're gonna come up behind him, and he's gonna distract him. You're gonna come up and hit him, and as you approach to do your part of hitting him, he's already got him distracted. But you said at that point you see Markel take the gun out of his back pocket and point it at the victim. Okay. And then did you hear Markel tell him empty your pockets, or he'd already started doing that?
I think he already did that because when I was already out, he was already snatching the stuff out of him to his hand.
Okay.
So earlier you had said you heard him say that.
No, I say he must have said that in between because I was still in the car because he was already talking to the dude, distracting him. Okay. And then once I seen that he had his back towards me, that's when I came out the car. Like once he approached him.
So he's got his attention. Your job's now to come up and hit him, and instead Markel pulls out the gun and points it at him. And as you approach, Markel's now grabbing the stuff out of his hands. And you said within a few seconds.
like as I like a few seconds after he snatched stuff, I seen a dude drop to the ground. You could hear the gunshot.
Did you see the gun fire?
Yeah.
I mean, you're close enough now. You can physically see Markel holding a gun, and where was he pointing it at?
At the dude's head.
Okay. And what was this guy wearing that you saw him pointing the gun at?
It's like I think a white shirt with like some long jeans and a hat.
Do you remember what color the jeans were?
Probably I could say like a light blue or dark, something like that. I know it's like a bluish color, I think.
Were they? Do you think they were long pants jeans or were they jean shorts?
I think they were pants.
Pants. Okay. Did he have anything else on that you noticed?
A hat.
Okay. What color was his hat?
It was dark. Probably like a dark blue or black or something.
Okay.
Was it cocked sideways, backwards, forwards?
Like straightforward from what I remember.
Okay. Earlier you told me the hat was a different color. Did you say it was a dark color?
Yeah, it was a dark color.
Okay. So this guy's standing here and Markel's got the gun. You hear the gunfire. Where did you see where he struck him, where the bullet struck him?
I just know he pointed at his head. Because I was looking back at the time when I was running towards him to make sure everything was still clear. And then as soon as I turned my head around, like almost reaching him, I seen him shoot.
Okay. So you see him point the gun at the victim, the gun fires, and the next thing you see is the victim
Just drop.
And I asked you, did he fall backwards? And I described a commercial, but we said basically a tree falling, or did he kind of kneel to the ground, or did he kind of noodle effect where he just kind of went straight down?
The noodle effect.
So his knees kind of buckled, bent, and he went to the ground. Correct?
All right. Let me ask you this. You said he pointed the gun to his head. Was it to his side? Was it to the back of his head, top of his head?
The front.
It was to the front of his head? Was that gun still pointed to the front of his head when you saw the gunfire?
Because the dude was facing like straight up, you know what I'm saying?
And did Markel have that gun in his right hand, left hand?
From what I remember, it was his right hand.
Okay, so he had on jeans, white shirt, hat. You hear the gunfire, guy collapses to the ground. And at that point, you're going where?
I was running back towards the car.
Okay.
Because there was no idea that was going on.
Okay. And where was Markel at that point?
He was running right behind me.
Right behind you. Okay. When y'all reach the car, where do you get in the vehicle?
Driver's seat.
So you go back to the driver's seat. Where's Markel go?
Passenger seat.
Okay. And again, nobody else gets in the car with you at that time? Okay. So y'all never picked up anybody from the time you left work to the apartment, from the apartment to Lindsay Terrace, from Lindsay Terrace to where he shot the victim at. No one's in the car but y'all. And when y'all leave from where he shot him, nobody else enters the vehicle. Okay. Y'all start the vehicle and you're heading out of the neighborhood, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And when you get back to the main road of the subdivision, which way do you go, left or right?
You go right. Like
You-
back towards Landon.
So you're going back. Okay, so when you come out of the neighborhood, you would go left or right?
Oh, when you come out the neighborhood, go left, like you're going back to Argyle Forest Road.
Okay, so you take a left and at that point, because you hear the gun fire, you see him shooting,
Yeah.
you know someone's going to be possibly looking. Y'all are taking off pretty quick.
Okay.
You said when you pulled out of the neighborhood, you saw him still laying on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. And you saw no one else around him, no one else walking, and it was clear that just one victim at that point laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. When y'all reach Argyle Forest, where the McDonald's is at, well, do you go left or do you go right back towards Blanding?
We went right towards Landon.
And y'all went where from there?
From there, we reached our first light, which was Rampart.
Okay.
We made a left on Rampart.
And then you made a left on Rampart, which you're headed now back,
Towards
Towards-
like 103rd area.
which is back towards where y'all live?
Yeah.
Okay. Do y'all stop anywhere along the way?
BP gas station. Off
Okay.
of Wilson and Lane.
Wilson Lane at the BP station. What do you go there for?
Buy a blunt.
Okay. How many blunts do you buy?
Like one or maybe two.
Okay. Are those the single blunts or in a
Yeah.
box?
Single blunt.
Single blunt. And that's for what?
To smoke weed.
Okay. Once you get the blunt, where do y'all go?
To the apartment.
back to y'all's apartment? Okay. And that's where y'all smoked the marijuana? Okay. After y'all get through smoking the marijuana, what do y'all do?
If I'm still correct, I take him back to his mom's house.
Okay. And you're saying if you're correct, meaning if you were staying in your apartment at the time, you don't remember if you were upstairs with your mom or downstairs?
Yeah.
But
Like
from there,
if I was upstairs with my mom, I took him back to his mom's house. But if his apartment was with us, then he would have stayed there with me.
do you remember taking him back to his mom's house?
From what I remember, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that.
Y'all didn't have the apartment then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you take him back to his mom's. Does he take his gun with him?
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't leave it in the car. All right. Now, back to when he took the stuff from the victim. What he took was what?
Weed, money, and cell phone.
Okay. The cell phone, what type was it? Do you know?
A boost move.
Boost mobile. And was it a flip or a slide or
Flip phone.
flip phone? Do you remember what color it was?
Like a brownish color.
Okay. So it wasn't red, it wasn't purple, it wasn't yellow. Nothing that stood out. It was an average dark phone. Okay.
Did you say brown?
Yeah. Like a brown or brownish. I mean like bronze or whatever.
Bronze?
Okay. And you said he had taken marijuana from him.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, how much marijuana did you think this was?
Like a dose sack, like a 20 sack.
A 20 sack. Okay. And being that not
Yeah.
really familiar, about how big was it?
Probably about like this big.
So I'm doing what your hands are 2 or 3 inches round. And what was it in?
It's like in a plastic type bag wrapped around itself.
So it wasn't like a Ziploc bag. It was a bag when they had tied something to the top of it to hold it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the cell phone, the marijuana, and he had, what else he grabbed from him?
Cell phone, weed, that's it.
Or earlier you said he'd taken some money.
Yeah, cell phone, weed, and money.
Okay, so all right. I just want to make sure I understand.
Okay.
And the money was in what?
Folded.
Just folded in half.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said how much you thought it was?
Like about $50, $60.
Okay. And never did you see this gentleman's, the victim's identification, driver's license, credit cards, notes, anything?
No.
So it was just strictly these 3 items.
Yes.
Okay. And what did y'all do with the money?
We split it.
So you got
Like about 30.
and he
30,
got
30.
and he got the same. Okay. And what did y'all do with the phone?
He just turned it off. At first we went through it, then turned it off and put it on the side though.
So when you say when you went through the phone, what does that mean?
Like just to look what's in it. Like look to the pictures
Names,
and stuff.
phone numbers, just anything that's stored inside of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to see what it had.
Okay. And y'all, when y'all were going through this phone, where are you at?
Was driving.
Okay, so when you're going through the phone, is this right after he was shot and y'all were driving away and y'all were actually going through the phone now? Were you going through the phone or was Markel?
Like at first he was going through the phone and then we seen this picture of this girl. He's like, and he showed me the girl. He's like, damn. So I looked at it. And
What?
then I had the phone and I started scrolling down and stuff.
Was there more than one picture in the phone or was there only one?
It was more than one, but it's probably only like 2 or 3, but it was like the same girl.
Okay. And you said my girl, did the picture anything in the phone say like, this is my girl, my girlfriend, or did it have her name or anything?
No.
Okay. The picture that you saw on his phone, was it what'd she look like?
She looked skinny. Like it looked like it was a school picture because it looked like she was surrounded by desks.
Okay. Was she white, black, Hispanic?
If I could look, probably like Hispanic or something like that. She was like brown skin,
Right. Okay, so
long like black hair, something like that.
long black hair. How long would you say her hair was?
That I can't really see.
Okay. Was to you, did y'all consider that she was pretty or cute or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. Anything else in that phone that?
No. Just pretty much looking through like the features and stuff to see what it had, cause I never seen that phone before. So.
Okay. I don't know much about Boost Mobile, so try to help. I mean, was there any feature in there that stood out to you that they have the service of that maybe I don't have?
I don't know, cause I didn't like check everything. I just looked to see like with the menu and everything, and cause we pretty much just looked through the photos and stuff like that.
Okay. Did y'all ever call anybody on that phone? Okay. That night, you look through the phone, you see her picture and all. at what point did he take the battery out of the phone?
While we were still in the car.
So was that after you went to the BP and bought the blunt? Or y'all still
No,
looking at the phone?
everything's before.
Okay, so before you get to the BP, so we're talking a drive from Argyle Forest at the McDonald's to the BP is approximately,
Probably like 10, 15 minutes.
okay, so within 10, 15 minutes, y'all already gone through the phone and he's taken the battery out of it. And what does he do with the battery in the phone?
Just puts it right in the car door handle thing.
Okay. What, do y'all do anything with the phone or later? As he
Just left
did?
it there.
Okay. Did he ever put the battery back in it at a later date? And try to use it or call anybody?
No, I know we put the battery back in the phone and turned it on, but not to use it.
Okay. When y'all turned it back on, when was that? Was that the next day?
No, I think probably like 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later.
So 2 or 3 days later, right? On that particular day, Mark Hill and you were together?
Yeah.
Right. Where were y'all headed? What was happening on that day?
I think it was before work. Like I usually pick him up for work or whatever,
Mhm.
and sometimes I pick him up like half an hour early, or whatever to chill.
Okay.
So probably around that time before
Okay.
we went to work.
So what, just ballpark in time, what would that have been probably?
Probably around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. So 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you're saying 2 to 3 days later?
Mhm.
Yep. So the phone at that point stays in your car in the driver's door, passenger door with the battery out of it, and then that is, did you drive the car from that day
Yeah.
to the second or third day?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember if anybody else was ever in your car during those times?
Like people from work and stuff, cause I pick up like 3 or 4 people from work a day sometimes.
Do you remember any of those people in the car ever picking that phone up and putting the battery back in it, or asking you any questions about that phone? No one ever knew it was there?
No, nobody went to my car like that.
Okay. So the phone lays there, battery out for you're saying you think 2 or 3 days, and then you pick up Mark Hill to go to work, and he takes the phone out, puts the battery in it, and y'all turn it on. Right? And what did he do that for?
We just like pretty much went through it again,
Okay.
and then just like scanned it, and then put it back down.
Did he ever have any plans to use his phone for anything?
He said to put the hose on.
Put the hose on it?
Yeah, like,
So I'm assuming
females,
that's girls, right? And that would be why.
to hide it from his phone or whatever.
So y'all don't want your girlfriends knowing that you're calling other girls. That's a smart move. Okay. So you're using this phone, though you were going to use that phone. Did y'all ever store any numbers on it? Did he ever use it to call anybody?
From that I know in my presence, no.
Okay. After y'all put the battery back in it, and what happens to the phone then?
We wait, turn it on or whatever. Then after we look through it, puts it back down. I'm not sure if he turns it off though. But I know he puts it back down.
And where does he put it back at?
Back into the door.
Okay. And did you ever see him ever touch that phone again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you ever look at the phone again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far as you know, the phone stayed in the car until it was discovered by
My sister.
your sister. Okay. All right. And the weed y'all smoked and the money y'all split. Okay. Did y'all ever, on the second or third day, when y'all had the phone, did y'all ever go anywhere else? I mean, is there any reason for y'all to go anywhere else around town, or
If anything, we went out to pick somebody up.
and where would you go do that?
It just depends whoever calls me.
But they would be employees of the dog track?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Mark Hill have any girlfriends? I mean, I assume he's got the girls he's calling on the phones, but does he have a particular girlfriend by chance?
From what I remember, yeah. I don't know if he's still with her.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember what her name was?
He calls her. I know her. It starts with a D because he calls her Ducky.
Okay.
I think it's Danielle or something like that.
Okay. Where does Danielle live?
She's still in the south side.
On the south side? Where on the south side is that?
Off of
Yeah.
Emerson,
Off of Emerson?
I think.
Okay.
If that's the south side.
How would, if you were going to go to her house, how would y'all drive over there?
only went there one time. I don't really remember like that.
Okay. But for him to be able to see her, you would drive him over there in your car?
Sometimes. Or sometimes, like, she'll have a ride, or he would just take my car, or his mom would take him or something like that.
Okay.
Or his sister.
But they are clearly boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
And do you know how long they dated?
I think a couple years.
It's a pretty good relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know when was the last time y'all went over to her house?
I went to her house. I know it was like months before.
Months before
Before this incident.
Before y'all shot this boy? What about after that?
I never went to her. Cause I only went there one time.
Okay. Was there any time that Markel would drive your car by himself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know after this incident if he ever drove your car by himself? Like within the next day or two? Or did you allow him to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And does he always tell you where he's going?
Well, usually. So like sometimes I just tell him, like he told me like where his main destination is, and I'm like, whatever you do, just be careful and make sure there's gas in the car.
Okay. Do you know if a day or two after that he went over to see her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He never told you that? Okay. And you said that once y'all left, when he shot him, the victim, and y'all left and jumped in the car, you said that Markel didn't have anything on him? He didn't get any blood on him or anything on him? He didn't have anything on his, because you said his shirt was white. He would have been clearly been able to see it.
Yeah, he had
No blood, nothing on his hands, he didn't complain of anything? Okay. And after the incident, you said you only talked about it the one time, and he just said, remember the lick we did together?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said earlier y'all were riding around after you left the dog track, and you all were looking for what?
Weed.
Weed.
To smoke.
So you went to a couple. You told us earlier you went to a couple of people's places to see if somebody had some. You couldn't really find anybody or find anybody home or something like that.
Yeah.
When you first came upon this guy, the victim, what did y'all talk about?
When we pulled up, we was like, we seen him on the street, and we was like, you seen him? And at first we just seen him, and he's like, we kind of both agreed on it, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, tell me what
like
that was.
We was talking about it, and then we was like, you want to rob him? And then that was pretty much it.
He said that to you, or you said it to him?
I can't really remember.
Okay.
But we both agreed on it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then after a while, we just started scoping everything out to make sure everything was clear.
Uh-huh.
And then we waited for like a car to pass. That was already on its way.
Uh-huh.
Once it passed, we drove down, the two neighborhoods, turned back around. And then we still seen them, making sure everything was still clear.
So from what you're telling me is you were heading south on that road. That road's name is Cheswick Oaks, by the way. Do you now recognize that street?
I don't know.
Okay, that's the street that runs down side of the McDonald's and down. Okay, so you were going south on that road when you saw him the first time. You all turned around and you were coming back north when you saw him the second time. Did you go by him a third time?
Cause we didn't go by, we didn't pass him the second time. We went right in front of him.
Oh, okay.
And then we stopped, turned around in the neighborhood. And then right before we could reach him, and then that's when he got out the car and met him.
Okay, so you said you stopped the car. Did you turn the car off?
No, I just put it in neutral.
Put it in neutral. Did you have the emergency brake on?
No, sir.
Okay, did you have the headlights on?
No, I turned it off. That's the only way I could turn it off.
So you had no lights on at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why did you turn your lights off?
So that way he wouldn't see us.
Okay. And from the time you all stopped and parked the car till the time the victim got down there, how long do you think that took?
Probably like 2 minutes.
How many?
Probably like 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes? You had said earlier you thought he was talking on the phone. Why did you think he was talking on the phone?
Because when we passed him the first time, it looked like he had his hand, his hand up to his face.
Okay. And was he walking in the street, in the grass, and sidewalk?
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk. So all the times you passed him and saw him, he was on the sidewalk. Okay. During the confrontation with this guy, did he ever throw his hands up like this? Did he? I mean,
No,
did
he had him up, but just like right in front of him.
Okay. Did he say anything like "Don't shoot me" or?
Not that I heard.
Not that you heard. All right. You had said Markel took the battery out of the phone. Why did he take the battery out?
That I don't know. We just turned the phone off and then.
Why'd y'all turn the phone off?
He's the one that pretty much had it the whole time because he had it on his side. Once we went through it, I gave him back the phone, and then he turned it off and he took the battery out.
And you didn't ask him why he took the battery? Okay. You said that a few days after, 2 to 3 days after, y'all turned the phone back on. Where were you specifically at when you turned that phone back on? Meaning, where in this world were you at?
That I don't really know. I just know we was driving the car because the phone never left the car.
You think you were in Jacksonville?
Yeah, we was
Clay
in Jacksonville.
County?
Yeah,
You were
we
Jacksonville? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you got out of the car, Markel was already out at that time?
Yeah.
And you had mentioned to us earlier this evening that there was some bushes. Can I show you this map? Let me show you this map that you drew. Is that the map that you drew earlier?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you know that's yours?
Because I signed it.
Okay. This map, and I'm going to get this thing where it's right. Okay. This would be what to you?
Argyle Forest.
All right. And this I told you was the drag that goes
Chestnut.
by Cheswick
Or
Oaks.
Chestwood.
Okay. All right. So you put a circle right here, a dark circle. What did that indicate?
Where the individual was when we passed him the first time.
Okay. And you got a second circle over here. What does that indicate?
That's roughly around the area he was when the incident took place.
Okay. You also drew over here, there's a house. Okay. And you had told us earlier, was there anything over here?
Yeah.
What was over
there
here?
was some more houses or
Okay.
whatever, but the bushes.
This house right here, was there lights on or off?
It was off.
This house here, was the light on or off?
Like the porch light was on.
Porch light was on, okay. And that looks like car. Who's that, your car?
Yeah, it's my car. The car was
That's where you left it in neutral.
Yes.
Which way was the car facing?
towards
Towards this way? Okay.
towards the street.
All right. So you also wrote bushes right here. And I've been out there, and I've noticed bushes there too, okay? I'm just trying to make sure this is the same area where you've drawn bushes. When Markel got out, did he go across this yard to the bushes? Did he go out in the street? Did he go down the street, come all the way?
Standing right in front of my car towards the sidewalk.
So he walked up the street?
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't go up here from behind the bushes or anything like that? Okay. When you got out of the car, which way did you go?
I ran slanted in front of the house, but I never touched the yard. I just stayed on the road. And then pretty much, as soon as I pretty much got to like right here, where the yard and the road touch, that's when the gunshot went off.
That's when the gunshot went off. Okay. All right. Now, obviously from what you have told us, I know you were there. Okay? There's a couple of things that have come up that I'm not sure about. Okay? And you wrote us a statement earlier, right? And you wrote in there that you did it. But you told us that Markel did it. And what I mean by that is you put in there that you told us that Markel shot him. And just a few minutes ago you told us Markel shot him. But in your written statement you put in there, and I shot him. So you see where I'm confused?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things about this that I know from our investigation. I'm not sure about what you're telling me. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Where's the victim's wallet at?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
We never had the water. In front of my possession, we never had the water.
Where'd it go?
I've never seen it whenever Markel came back to the car with his stuff in his hands.
Really? What would you say if I told you I knew that he had his wallet with him at the time he got robbed and shot?
I don't know what to say. I just know I didn't have the wallet in my possession, and I didn't see Markel with it either.
I know that just from a lot of times when we interview people in cases, that the first time that someone runs through it, they leave stuff out. Certainly understand that. And then the second time they run through it, they tell a little more. You see what I'm getting at? Because they remember a little bit more, or they get prodded about it a little bit more, you know. Just like me, you know, what did I do 2 weeks ago? And if you say, well, you know what, I remember seeing you at the beach. Oh, I know exactly yeah, that's right, I was at the beach. You know what I'm saying? So prodded a little bit more.
The wallet's not that big a deal. We just are trying to account for it. Right. So you've already said that it's not going to make, you know, a major difference here. We just want to make sure we know where it was at. But you said he had marijuana. You said he took his cell phone. Mm-hmm. You said he had cash. Well, most people carry cash. You know, most men carry a wallet. So, you know, we were told he had a wallet. And what we're just trying to establish, if he had the wallet and y'all took the wallet, that would make sense. Yeah. If he come wearing back with cash in his hand, that just didn't make sense to us because most people would put it in a wallet. And if he had a wallet, he had a wallet. That's not going to make any difference here. The fact is that we can say, okay, he has a wallet like they said. So if y'all took his wallet, it's not that big a deal.
You never
had a wallet
in my presence. That was never a wallet.
Okay.
Good. Would you think there was time for Markel to be able to take, if he had a wallet, the victim's wallet, and take the money out of it? And
from the way I seen it, no.
Not enough time because he runs straight back to the car.
Because as soon as he snatched, probably like I said, 30 seconds to a minute after, you know what I'm saying, like instantaneously, the gun was pulled in.
And that was one of my questions. The gun, you said he had in his back pocket. What kind of gun was it?
9mm.
It was a 9mm? Okay. What color 9mm?
Black.
Black 9mm. Do you know what make it is? Do you know where he got it?
In the street, pretty much.
So could be a hot gun or whatever. But you know he's not old enough to buy one. Okay. Earlier you said you thought it was a .38. You described a snub nose revolver. So now which one truly is it, Hector?
It's a 9mm.
All right. So it's a 9mm. Whose gun is it?
His.
It's his gun? And is this something that he has all the time?
I know he just got it recently. But.
Okay. I mean, you don't know where he got it. Okay. But you're now for sure it's a 9mm.
Yeah.
Okay. When the gun fires, you hear the gun, you see the gun fire. So I'm assuming that when you saw the gun fire, what did you see?
The flame didn't come from.
So you literally are close enough at that point, you can see the flame shoot from the barrel of a gun. And you said he had it aimed at his face. Okay. And this gun was black. Okay. And you don't know what he did with that gun. As far as you know, to the day that you were arrested, he has the gun in his possession. Y'all never threw it out the car window. He never sold it.
That I know of, no.
And actually couldn't pawn it because he's not old enough. Okay. And the wallet, still didn't see a wallet. Okay. And you for sure he didn't have any more money in that on him? $60? You for sure you got $30?
That's what I got out of it. Yeah.
Okay. And as Dan said, he's standing on the side of the road and, you know, he's starting to rob him, gets his attention. At any time did this victim strike out at Markel? You said earlier you were describing he told him to empty his pockets. He pulls the stuff out of his pockets.
Yeah, I was just pretty much just giving it to him. Like surrendering.
So, but Correct, but he's removing the stuff and he has his hands in front of him and he's holding his hands up like you said, and you said a surrender position.
Yeah.
So at no time he never tried to hit you. He didn't provoke you. Did he by chance call you a name? Did he call Markel a name that you heard? Was there any bickering between the two of them? So he never put up any type of effort to defend himself or just surrendered 100%.
From hearing, but from seeing him, no. But from hearing, I don't know.
Okay. But as we were talking, here you are in the middle of a robbery that y'all had pretty much discussed how it was going to go and what your position was going to be and what his was going to be. If me and you were standing on the street corner and we were arguing, clearly you'd be able to hear me yelling at you and him yelling back. What do you think provoked him to pull the trigger and shoot him? So this guy did nothing whatsoever that you saw or heard that would cause Markel to pull the trigger other than just Markel's decision. I mean, you got back in the car, he never said, was he laughing when he got in the car? Like, did you see that fool? Or did he say anything about the victim?
I just said drive off.
He just said drive off. He didn't cry. He wasn't sad. Was he laughing? Like, hey, give me 5-5? Or
Nah.
Okay. Did he act scared?
No, we was nervous. I know you could tell he was nervous at first. You know what I'm saying?
But the minute you get in the car, you start driving, he's calm enough and basically made enough decision in his head to, hey, let's take the phone out and start looking through it for numbers and pictures. And so he's comfortable at that point. He's not upset going, oh my God, what have I done? He's saying, give me the phone, let's look in it, and we got weed.
No, that was me that said we got weed.
Okay. But together y'all got weed, and he's not upset. He's happy you got weed, and y'all go buy a blunt and go back to the house.
Yeah.
And he has no, you don't think he has any conscience. He's sitting around going, man, what have I done? What have I done? He's saying, hey, let's smoke the weed and move on.
We need to talk about it.
Okay. And later on, y'all talk about him, say, hey, it reminds me, you remember our liquor we did together, and didn't seem like you cared about it? Okay.
Did you know the victim prior to this robbery?
I don't even know who the victim is. I just.
Okay. Did Markel know who the victim was? Okay. Why did y'all pick this guy?
He was the only dude on the street.
All right. And you have to understand, there's a couple things in here, and I just, only you can clear up. Like I told you earlier, I know you were there. Okay? And you and I both know that. Earlier you said that Markel had shot him. But you put in your statement he took a swing?
I made that up on my part. That's when I told him I did it.
Okay, why did you write a statement saying you did it?
Because I was trying to keep people out of trouble, man. Because ain't no need for everybody just to go down.
Okay. Listen to this. The only thing we are here for is just the truth. Okay? And we do not want to put anybody under suspicion for something they didn't do. We don't want to blame anybody for something they didn't do. And we are not going to allow anybody to get themselves in trouble for telling us something they didn't do. That's just not right. So, you see what I'm getting at? I'm having a hard time finding out who, because you know what Markel's going to say, don't you?
I did.
Amen. So, and the only reason I know that is and I'll say there's a high probability of that because we've been investigating these cases for a long time, and that's usually how it is. Usually in any type of crime, whether it's a burglary or robbery or whatever, he did it, you know? So what I'm saying is with you changing it from a .38 revolver to a 9, you did it, he did it, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but
Talk to me.
to me, putting everything out front, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't get him in trouble if he, you know what I'm saying? If he had nothing to do with it.
He got himself in trouble.
Huh?
He got himself in
No,
trouble.
that's what I'm saying. But
Okay.
I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be right here telling you he did it if it was me. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's following you. Go ahead.
Let me ask you. Someone that would do such a thing, what trouble do you think they should be in?
Shit, trouble, man. They put trouble not facing.
But I mean, for Markel, for if Markel's the one that shot this guy, what do you think should happen to Markel? Do you think he should just walk on the street free, or do you think he should be in trouble and be accounted for what he did?
Like on a legal wise, yeah.
So legally, you think he should be accountable for what he did?
Yeah.
Okay. If Markel's walking out on the street and he's done this, he shot this guy basically in the face by you described for no reason. He wasn't provoked. He's walking on the side of the road. He's the only guy out there. And this guy walks up to him and says, "Give me empty your pockets." The guy complies with him. He's in a surrender position. He is just absolutely no threat whatsoever. And Markel pulls out the gun and shoots him and kills him. Okay? Do you believe that Markel should be out walking on the street? Because you have family members, I have family. There's other people out here in this world. If he's done this once, what happens if he goes out here and does it again? Would you want that weight on your conscience? That you're allowing him to sit there on the street and be able to kill someone else?
No.
Because guess what? You don't know who this guy was. Because this poor kid has family just like you and I and Markel and everybody else. And you said he was the only guy out there, but that guy could have been one of your family members. Because it may not be Markel. There's other people out there just like him.
Yeah.
So here Markel's out here on the street, okay, and he's now has the ability to go out and hurt someone else. Who else is he going to hurt? Because this sounds like it came pretty freely for him by what you're describing. Okay? So what I'm asking you is what he's asking you is did you pull the trigger and kill this guy? Or did Markel?
Okay.
And so you believe at this point I should go out and do what's right by bringing Markel to justice,
Legal wise, yeah.
legal-wise, because you don't feel that. Do you feel he's a threat to society? You think this is going to happen again?
That I don't know.
Not with you, because you're here with us, but he's out there with somebody else right now. How do I know what's going to happen the next time he says, "Hey, I want to go rob this dude"? Well, he's already done this before. So do you think he's going to hesitate? If a guy stands in front of him with his hands up and surrenders to him and he shoots him, what's he going to do to the guy that stands in front of him and says, "Give me that gun. Man, you're not taking my money. Come on, man, this is my paycheck. This is all I have." And, well, that's more of a confrontation than the guy standing here with his hands up, right? What do you think he's going to do then? He's already done it once with a guy that didn't. So do we want this guy? Do you and I want this guy walking on the street with the ability to do this with the conscience that he has? Do you think that's where he should be? Or do you think he should be legally in jail?
Yeah, legally in jail.
I know he's your friend, but man,
But just looking at it.
let me ask you this. What if we live in a small world? Your sister, your family member is walking down the road and some other guy, some other dude that's out there on the street that's done the same thing Markel has, right? He's done the same thing that Markel has and no one does anything to him. How can I say that he's not going to do that and I will have to come tell you what happened? Would you want him walking the street?
Hell no.
Hell no. You're right. You're damn right. Hell no. So, he's the one that shot him, not you. But you were there. Okay. At any time before the robbery or after he shot him, did you ever decide that maybe you should call the sheriff's office and tell what happened? I mean, you knew what he had done was wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you knew that when the gun fires and guy falls to the ground and he's shot in the face, that's wrong, right?
Yeah.
And you knew that after that you had ample time to call, and you didn't, and he didn't either, right? Okay.
Want some water?
Hold on.
I need some. Can I bring some?
It's alright. I'm cool.
Okay. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
Let's grab some water. We'll be right back, bro.
We'll be right back, all right?
Alright.
All right, Hector.
As they step out of the room, let's go ahead and take our last commercial break. This will be a great time to go down there and hit the like button if you haven't already done so. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Then I hit back on it. Right. I'm down to my target, but I'm gonna do some more. Okay. Just check on a few things because now you tell me 9. Okay. Just so you know, we've talked to you. We've already talked to Markel. Okay. That's why I asked you what he had told you. We've talked to. There were some other folks out, not just this guy. Okay. Just because they're not outside on me, they can't see you. When they hear cars and they hear noises, people. That's why earlier I was telling you, people hear this stuff, they start checking. Basically, what you're telling me happened. Okay, I believe you're the one that had the gun, and you're the one that shot him, Hector.
Like I told you, man.
You're writing it in your statement
No, I'm fit.
that you shot him. You're telling me now the gun.
I told you that before too, man.
What's that?
I said that. See, like I said, man. See, y'all don't know about my first case. You know what I'm saying? I turned myself in. I'm the one.
Okay.
I told him, you know what I'm saying?
We can't talk about that.
Well, I understand, you know what I'm saying?
What you're saying is you were being honest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm
and
not going to put nobody's name out there that doesn't belong out there, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
If I was going to tell you I did it, I want to put my kid's name out there, I would have just told you I was by myself, you know what I'm saying?
But I know you weren't by yourself.
Yeah.
And I can prove 100% that you weren't by yourself. So you could have told me that. And the minute you told me that, I'd have told you to stop. And you either told me the truth or I'd have quit. Because I knew he was with you. There's no doubt. Okay? So I knew I would have known right then that you were lying. Okay? You write in your statement that you did it. Most people don't say they did something like that.
Like I said, man, I'm already in facing big time, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at least 20 years. You know, like I said, I wasn't trying to get nobody else in trouble. You know, like I said, he got a family too, you know what I'm saying? At least he's out. That's how I was saying it, you know?
How you seeing it now?
I don't even know.
How you seeing it now?
I'm looking at it the legal way, like you put it to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the person that should be in, not somebody else. You know, because it could happen again to anybody.
You think he's capable of doing it again?
He did it once, like you said.
But Hector, the problem we have is this. I want to believe everything you say. Do you feel like he or I have lied to you at all?
No.
Okay. Now, nobody's raised their voice, nobody's cussed, nobody's yelled. It's been very peaceful man to man. Okay? And if Markel truly was the person who pulled the trigger in this case, okay, then from everything that you've told us, you really don't have a reason to lie because you admitted that you were there. You said what you did. It's both y'all's idea. He was the only guy on the street. Both of y'all talked about jacketing, right? Okay. But when we talk to people like this, you have lied about things that there's no reason for you to lie about. 38 versus 9mm. Okay? That you stayed in the car versus you ran up there. That you heard him say, empty your pockets. No, you didn't hear him say that.
I never said I heard him say empty your pockets. He told me that when he came back into the car.
Okay, well then scratch that. But the others, there's no reason for you to lie.
Yeah.
Then why did you lie about it? There's only one reason why you did.
Yeah, you take it how you want. You know
Well, I'm
what
going to take it how Markel's going to say it. Because he's going to say, man, he was a shooter. And I can tell you right now, he's already been accused of shooting somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is we're trying to work with you here.
Yeah.
That there's no reason for you to lie about the caliber of the gun.
Why did you?
Mm.
What's the
I
difference
was
in
nervous.
a
At first I was nervous. I didn't know what to say.
what's the difference in a 38 and a 9mm? Gun's a gun, right?
Yeah, but you could prove it. What kind of gun it, what kind of bullet it is.
Why was that?
Once you get it out of the autopsies and stuff like that. So if I was to tell you it's 38, you look at the body, you see it's a different kind of gun.
You don't think we've already done that?
Yeah.
So what kind of gun was it?
9mm.
And where is that 9mm now?
Yeah, I can't tell you. Because I haven't kept in contact with him ever since I've been here. But from my knowledge, he had it before anything. I don't know if he got rid of it or anything, but
Let me ask you this. What's the difference if you were standing together, you decided to rob this guy. Together, y'all picked him out. Together, y'all get out of the car. Together, y'all approach. Your job's one thing, his job's another. Okay? At this point, honestly, to me, it really don't matter who pulled the trigger or who was standing next to him, getting ready to hit him to distract him.
because they're both kids.
All day long. Because it was a joint venture to rob this guy. So at this point, it really doesn't matter. There's really no meaning for it. It's to lie about it. Right? What'd you say? So at this point, if you said he did it or I did it, you're both in it. It doesn't really matter. Because it's all going to be the same. So but if you say he did it, and I go out tomorrow and I arrest him and I put him in jail and he's convicted and he goes to prison and you did it, what's that do to him
They're gonna fuck him up.
and his family?
But if I you know what I'm saying, if I take up for his crime,
I don't want you to take it for his crime. I want you to tell me the truth.
That's what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm already facing time. So I'm going to have to do more time than was already planned the first time, which is going to affect my family even more.
Which gives you a reason to lie.
Which gives you a reason to lie.
I'm not going to lie about something like this.
Well,
I lied the first time.
You've already lied 3 times
Yeah,
tonight.
I understand. You know what I'm saying? But I told you the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to take it, take it. Y'all want to believe what he said, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to put it on me?
No.
What I tell you earlier that was the most important thing to me? What I tell you? Don't laugh at me. What I tell you? I told you when I walked out the door, I had to know that you was telling me the truth.
Yeah.
And then I went to bed tonight and I closed my eyes. I had to know that what I did today was right.
That was the right thing.
Right. And I can't afford to go arrest somebody, okay, that didn't do something wrong. I don't want that weighing on my shoulders. I'm going to do what's right. You have to allow me to do what's right. Do I need to go out there right now and arrest Markel and put him in jail for killing this boy?
Like I said, man, I told y'all.
Or did you kill him?
I already told y'all, man. I never told y'all. I lied, yeah. What's up, man? Honestly, now that this is up to you, man. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to be cool with you.
Well, like you said, we haven't yelled at you.
Yeah.
We're not in here
Yeah,
like
man.
TV shows and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you. I'm asking you, man to man.
And I told you.
You tell me, did that boy Markel Thomas shoot that boy, or did you do it?
I didn't do it.
Markel Thomas shot him with a 9mm gun in the face, and Markel should go to jail for it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Unless you want me to tell you I did.
I want
if you don't
want you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, man. If
Okay.
you don't want to arrest him, then don't arrest him.
No,
Because no matter what, we
Let
both
me
gonna
tell you-
get charged with it.
No,
Like
let
you
me
said.
tell you. No, let me tell you. What he tell you Markel's gonna do? I didn't do it. He did it.
Yeah.
Okay. I still gotta prove he did it.
And he's got a pretty good defense because he's going to say, "Look, man, he's already been accused of popping a cap on another one."
But you say but like you say he's been accused of popping one too.
No, he's saying that's what Markel's gonna say.
That's what Markel's going to say about you. He's going to say you've already been accused of popping another dude.
I would have turned myself in for this one.
Okay, but all we're getting at, Hector, is this: I mean, it's very unusual for you to lie about something when there was no need to lie about it. The gun, there was no need to lie about it, bro. There was no need to lie about you stayed in the car versus you got out. There's no need for you to sit here and write a statement and say you did it when you say you didn't do it. So you see what I'm getting at? Those hurdles have to be crossed, you know? Now, we haven't come in here and throw out all the evidence and tell you everything we know. I mean, we haven't just sat around and twiddled our thumbs since this crime occurred. And I hope, and I really hope, that you give us a whole lot more credit that we knew a lot of the answers to the questions before we even asked you.
Yeah, man.
Okay, that's our job, right? Okay. So, we're hung here. Okay? Let me ask you this. Do you, and I know what your current charge and why you're in jail, but do you know what the statute is on murder in Florida? Okay, let me just paint a little quick picture to you, okay? If I want to kill him, okay, and I say, I want you to stand right here with me, and I want you to look out and make sure nobody is coming, be my lookout guy. And I shoot and kill him. And I take his stuff from him. And we go jump in the car and we split it up and everything else. What am I charged with?
Murder.
What are you charged with?
Murder.
You want to know one that I didn't even know until I became a police officer here in Florida? That if you two are robbing a store and y'all come out and you got guns and you point at me, a police officer, and I shoot and kill you, okay? And he gives his gun up and we arrest him, what is he charged with?
Armed robbery.
And what else?
Murder.
Yes.
Why?
Because they caused the murder to happen because of what they were doing, because of their actions.
There you go.
So what I'm getting to you is, and I'm not trying to minimize this by saying it doesn't matter which way it goes. I'm not trying to do that. All I'm saying is in this situation here, I can put you at the scene through the evidence that I have. Okay? At the very least, I can put you at the scene. Have no problem whatsoever putting you at the scene. Problem I have is when we go talk to Markel. Again, to corroborate some of the information you've given us, then we're going to have a different twist on it.
Do you know where that gun's at? Because you know it's going to be one of the things if he's willing to say, "Oh, wasn't my gun. That's Hector's gun. Hector's the one that shot him. I'll tell you where the gun's at."
Then I ain't got no defense to that. Because I didn't have that gun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I played, you know what I'm saying?
But why would you play us?
Huh?
Why would you play us?
I was nervous. Like I said.
You were the one who pretty much invited us down here, so you weren't that nervous.
God was trying to get my mom off the hook.
Okay,
I didn't want her going to jail for no reason.
Okay, but what I'm saying is for no reason?
Well, not for no reason, but because Markel told her to throw the phone away.
Okay, as far as whether your mom goes to jail or not, that'll be up to the state attorney's office, court system, and all that, okay? That'll be something that we will have to talk to the state about, okay? And in this case right here, I am not so interested in what other people have done. I'm interested in what was done that night, okay? And that's who I'm interested in, okay? All that other stuff, right now I don't care about that at all. But I mean, you pretty much invited us down here. So you couldn't have been that nervous. You knew we were coming.
Yeah, I know. It's just the way she told me.
But what I know, but what I'm getting at is you knew we were coming.
Yeah.
And you knew what time it was. Okay? So
'Cause I was-
there's no reason to be nervous and talk about a 9 versus a 38.
Yeah.
That just throws. I mean, come on, put yourself in my shoes.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Oh, we got to get through all that.
Let me ask you a question. When he's walking down the sidewalk, what did you tell me he was doing?
When he was walking down the sidewalk.
When the victim was walking down the sidewalk and y'all saw him, what was he doing?
Like I said, it looked like he was on the phone.
And he had,
The hand up to the mouth.
Hand-
Face or whatever.
which would indicate he was on the phone. Do you not realize there was somebody else on the end of that phone call?
If he was on the phone,
Well, guys walking down the street like this,
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah, I
walking
know.
like this because he's just walking like this. He's walking like this because he was talking on the phone.
Yeah.
And therefore, there's somebody on the other end of that phone call. And what do you think those people heard?
Yeah.
What do you think they heard?
The commotion.
They heard people talking. They heard everything.
And they know somebody drove by.
They know who drove by. They know what he was seeing when they were driving by. Because, like I said, you two weren't the only ones out there. Because he told a lot of things that was going on through his walk. And they heard things that were being said. Okay? And basically up to the point to when y'all took his phone. Right?
But I never came closer to do
But you were close enough to see the muzzle blast out of this gun. And I know where you drew your picture of where you were standing. And we've both been to the scene numerous times to the point of actual measurement from concrete to grass to sidewalk to signs to trees to where he was laying. I mean, we got it down. I could probably take you right now without you saying a word and stand you right where you were at. Would you not say? You know we're going to do our job.
Yeah.
Okay. You were in earshot. You could hear. I mean, you were only talking 4 or 5 feet from where you're standing. All right? I can go stand at that door, and I'm at the same distance. Correct?
No, it was further. It was just a little bit further, probably.
Okay, so we're talking 8 feet. Do you not think I could stand right there and whisper and you can hear what I'm saying?
You probably can, but
Okay.
I didn't. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? The words weren't being said. Because when I told you I was in the car the whole time, once he had his back turned around or whatever, once he got the dude's attention, that's when I came out. He already had the gun pointed to the dude's head. And then when I told you I was looking back to make sure nobody was looking or nobody was coming, as soon as I looked back, I'm still running. The shot turned around. I stayed in stride and just made like a circle.
So you come up the sidewalk like you're describing. You see him point the gun at the victim's face. You see the muzzle blast. You're in full stride towards him. And you do the loop-de-loop and start heading back. Okay? And you sure that you wasn't standing there and Markel wasn't the one coming up. It was your job, his job to distract, your job to strike him. Correct? And he gets out of the car with a gun, which is now a 9mm. Was that same 9mm at the seat? Was everything else you told me the truth? That's where he had it at? And you think tonight, with what you told me and what I already know, that I should drive to Markel's house and arrest him for killing this boy and put him in jail? Because he is the one to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? I mean, we're telling you we're not trying to downplay it. We're not trying to tell you which one's worse, which one's not worse. What I'm saying is the ability. He had the ability to stand there and shoot this guy. Doesn't matter if he was standing there watching or if he was the one that pulled the trigger. Yeah, I want to know that you're telling me he had the ability to pull the trigger and shoot this guy. Right? And you didn't do it. Have you ever touched this gun?
Yeah.
You've held it before?
Mhm.
How long ago?
I know I didn't. I touched it afterward. I didn't touch. Well, I held it in my hand that day, but I never like shot or nothing like that.
What
Until
time was day?
afterwards.
Before or after?
Before.
So before y'all went over there, where was the gun at?
At the house.
Okay, and you took it out of the house then?
No, I didn't take it out. No.
When did you touch it then? Before.
In the house.
So y'all were at the house, y'all were messing around with the gun?
I was looking at it.
Okay. But it's his gun.
Yeah.
When he showed it to you, where did he get it from?
He got it from the street, that's all I know.
No, I mean that day. Did he get it out of the backpack? Did he?
Oh, he pulled it out the backpack, but it was in the house.
Okay. I want to believe you, but I'm just not seeing it
I feel you.
because of what you wrote
Mhm.
and what you told me. And I know at this point, the thing that's in your head right now is you're saying about what you already have and what, you're starting to give me times, and then you're saying what this one's going to do to you. Okay? That part is not going to matter. Right? Because we already said there,
Yeah,
if
no matter
you
what
stand outside the store and be the lookout, or your guy goes in, right?
Yep.
So if we took your family out of this whole situation, we take all your time out of this situation, all your penalties, everything that you got in your head, and it comes down to the fact of
Who shot who?
who shot who.
Okay, so
Markel shot him.
And why in the world would you write a statement saying you
like I said, man, I was just trying to keep people out of trouble. I ain't know, just trying to get at this. I don't know, man. Like I said, I was nervous. I was shaking the whole time when I was talking to you at first, cause I didn't know what to say. I told y'all the truth. It's just when I wrote it down, I just put his name in my name.
Well, you didn't tell us the truth because you said it was 38.
Well,
You said you stayed in the car. I mean, Hector, I'm trying to believe you, bro.
I feel you,
I'm
man.
trying to work with you here, man.
I feel you. Well, y'all can just stick with this statement, man. You know what I'm saying? And then just have him there as an accomplice.
I just told you a minute ago, Hector, listen.
You said no matter what, he's gonna come to jail, right?
I understand, Hector. Listen to me. I have a job to do, man.
I know. I feel
And you want me to do my job right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and let someone say they did something when they didn't. Okay? But I wouldn't be doing my job right if I didn't explore this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if everything you've told us from A to Z, and my investigation supports it 100%, I'd say he's on time. But I can't say that. That's the thing here. You can fill those gaps in. That's what I'm having. That's why we're still here. You can fill those gaps in.
And I did. I just hesitated at first. Why? I don't know.
Well, just a few minutes ago, you said you held that gun afterwards.
I've held it before, after, all the time.
Okay, well, how much afterwards did you hold it?
You know what I'm saying? It's like I've held it at my house. I've took it with me before. You know
After
what I'm saying?
this incident?
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you take it?
I had it under my seat, just in case. Like, whenever I went out. When I knew I was going to, you know what I'm saying? Parts I didn't know. Like when I went out to the club or something, just in case, you know.
By yourself?
Huh?
By yourself?
I used to go with my friend Toby.
Okay,
But we stopped going.
okay. Up until when?
We stopped going like,
Up until when did you have that gun with you going out under your seat,
Oh.
going out, doing this, doing that?
probably like a couple days before I got arrested.
Okay, what'd you do with it?
You know, I just had it. I just had it. Like either he was with me, or he left it in my car, or at the house.
Okay,
You know,
where's it at?
I'm not with the dude right now, man.
Well, it wasn't in your car when you came down here.
I'm not stupid.
Okay, so what'd you do with it?
I didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. It's his gun. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but if
he
you
had
have it with you after this incident,
no, I ain't. I'm
and
saying
you're
no.
going to a club and doing
had
this
it,
and all that.
I've had it with me before. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but
If I
you also said you had it after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
we're
like if I ask him for it, I'm like, hey man, let me take it with me just in case. Or if not, he'll leave it in the car and tell me just to leave it in the car. You know what I'm saying? And then
No, I don't know what you're saying, because that tells me that's your gun.
you,
I mean, you asked me, so I told you.
no,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not saying nothing. I understand. I'm just saying that's not my gun.
I mean, if it's
Don't.
I have a gun, okay? He and I went to high school together, okay? And I can tell you right now, he ain't getting my gun. Now, if he says, hey, I'm gonna go out and go shoot some targets or something, yeah, that's fine. But it's coming right back to me, because that's my gun.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna leave my gun in his car under his seat and let him go to the club.
No,
with
it's
it
not.
and
He don't leave it with me for days like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's not going to go to a club with my gun. He's not going to go. My gun's not going to stay underneath his seat of his car. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing to say to that. I don't know what I can say.
Let me call this brother right back.
So everything in here, what you told us about Markel, that's the truth, right?
In the statement, all I did was put his name with my name.
Okay, listen to me. He gets a little excited at times, right? Just me and you, right?
Yeah, I know.
Just listen.
Bad cop, good cop. I know.
Nah, whatever. I'm just saying he gets excited. Just listen. Okay? Earlier, I pretty much gave you my word. My job is to make sure you understand that you can trust me, right? And I already told you that you could. And you sat down and you told me everything that happened. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I gave you my word. I told you what I was about, what I was after. And then when I come back in to read it, it's different.
It's the same story, it's just my name with his name.
Okay. I understand you're scared. I understand you're nervous. But the time when me and you sat and talked, okay, you were comfortable to tell me what happened. And I just need you just look at me in the face, Hector, and tell me, okay? If you're scared, just tell me you're scared, okay? I understand y'all were there. You know what? Maybe you didn't even, and that's what made me think, maybe y'all didn't even mean to shoot this guy. You know, because there's reflexes, and so remember I asked you about swooping the stuff, how long? There was reasons for that, okay? A lot of times, even in police school, watch any movie, watch a cop, unless we're pointing our gun at somebody, your finger's always outside the trigger guard. You ever see that? SWAT movies, all that stuff. Exactly. That's a safety feature. That's to keep me, because what if I'm walking? Well, not trigger, but what if I bump? What if I go to grab somebody's weed, right? Or I go to grab their shirt and I have a gun in my hand, I get my finger, and boom, it goes off. It's an accident. I didn't mean it to go off, but it was reaction. That's why I asked you. You know, if it was a reaction, could have been that it went to grab and it went off. Because for someone not to be provoked or say anything or anything mean, you know, racial, trying to strike you, anything, to be shooting him, I mean, it didn't even really make a lot of sense. Because what are you doing when you shoot him? You're drawing a whole lot of attention to the area, right? So that's why I was thinking that the whole time that portion of it was probably an accident. I kind of figured maybe they didn't mean to, right? Because why would you? Why would you draw that much attention to yourself? You're done. All you had to do is take off. So, you know, if it was an accident, it was an accident. I mean, you can't change it. It had happened, but it's not like that's what the mindset was. Like you said, when you got out of the car, you thought, hey, I'm going to go rob the guy. Y'all were looking for weed, right? Okay. So, you know, I can't beg you. I just want you to think about what you're saying, okay? If y'all went up there, especially after you described the weapon, like you said, there's things we already know. You described the weapons, how he fell, everything that you described, okay, it makes me believe that you were the one that had the gun. You were the one that shot him. And you're just scared to say that. But we've already pretty much described to you that, I mean, you said it here, but, you know, earlier that's not what you said.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out here and arrest Markel if he didn't do it. Not, and confront him with that.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that he's, you know, got something to answer for. But I also have to look at what he's going to tell me when I get there. And if you're okay with the fact that you're telling me that that's what happened, then that's what happened. But I'm not going to sit here and keep it. I mean, you know, I'm not going to keep you any longer. You got to sit down and make a decision. Okay? Let me ask you, not to get off on a little tangent, but just to hear what I'm saying. All right? Your mom seems to be a very good, faithful woman. Do you have any type of faith?
Yeah.
So you believe in God?
God.
Okay. You know that right now all this you're going through, right? You're answering to people like me and anybody that's in, you say, the system, right? But ultimately, what do you got to answer to?
God.
You got to answer to God. I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm asking you a question. Not only you're always gonna have to answer for everything you've done, but now that you may have the question of answering to him why you're sitting here lying to me if you're lying to me, on top of what's already happened. You know, that's a decision that you in your heart have to make. Right? And those are the same questions that he's going to ask me. Is did I do everything I was sitting here in this room today to get the truth? And did I use my conscience correctly to make a judgment? Right? Okay. So, knowing that you got the answer for that, knowing that I'm sitting here asking you, compounding. I mean, you laugh, but dude,
No, I'm not laughing.
You never know.
Yeah,
you never know what's going to. Hey, you might not wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I know.
Neither may I, because
nobody knows what the future holds.
Don't know what the next minute's going to hold. I could fall over in this chair. I want to know my conscience is in the right place. You need to make sure your conscience is in the right place, right? So you got to make a conscious decision. If you were there and you pulled the trigger and this boy was shot during a robbery and you meant to do it, that's one thing. I don't think you did, because I don't think what was said, what was heard on the phone, I don't think it was one of these major confrontations. If that's what happened, that's what it is. If Markel did it, that's what it is. So think about what I'm asking you. What happened? Did you shoot him?
No, Markel shot him.
Markel shot him. Okay. I ain't going to ask you again.
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
All right.
It's crazy. I don't know.
It's not crazy. It's
No,
real simple.
Yeah.
It's real simple.
Yeah.
But listen to me. Let me ask you this. Before you came in to talk to me today, all this was in your head, right?
About what?
About all this happened.
Oh.
Your head all bottled up inside, right?
Yeah.
And be honest, since you've sat here and talked to me, have you not felt a little better?
Mm-hmm.
Sure you have, because you know what's going on. You can't let that sit on you, because that's going to eat at you. All right? It's going to eat at you bad. It's been eating at you up to this point, hasn't it? Because you're sitting over here in a jail, and there ain't a whole lot to do. Eventually, I mean, it's going to catch up to you. You're going to be thinking about it. It's going to weigh on you. And who you going to tell? The dude sitting in the jail with you? I mean, who's he? He's got his own issues. He ain't going to cares about you. No, people care about you out here. I've met all of them. I've told you. I told you what your son looked like. I met him. I met your girlfriend. I met your mom. I met your sister. I met all the people who care about you. The guys over here don't care about you. Sure? Okay. Let me go back out there and talk to him a minute, and then we'll get you back across the street. about it a minute, or you want me to go on?
What you want me to say? I did it?
No. Oh, I want you to tell me the truth. You know what? If you never had written that, I would have never said another word to you, Hector. I'd have never said another word to you. And I understand the reason why you would lie, because you just told me, and that made sense. Mm-hmm. But at this point, that lie is not going to make a difference. And my thing is, I just don't want him sitting out there if what you're telling me is the truth. Because he was a juvenile. He just turned 18. You know what I mean? So, you know, if he did it, he did it. If he didn't, he didn't. Because I'm about to make his life change drastically. You don't want that weighing on your conscience. What I was trying to get to you.
I understand.
You don't want me bringing him down here and putting him in jail at 18 years old if he didn't do that. Because other people they're worried about those other questions, not me. They were both there. But I have to be able to look at him and know that that's what he did. And again, you don't want to go back over there and lay down and go to sleep and not wake up and have that burden on your heart when you make peace with your maker, which hopefully you have. If you hadn't, hopefully you will. So don't compound things on yourself with that type of burden by telling another lie and then having that weigh on your conscience. Because I can't clear that for you.
Oh, yeah.
So I ain't coming back. It'd be better just to say what happened, clear your conscience, and then deal with what's being dealt, and it's done and over with. Than to have tomorrow going, man, I wish I could talk to Detective West again because, you know, now I've got this on my conscience and now I can't get rid of it. Because I can tell since we started talking to you, you're so much more at ease than you was before we got here. So, what time is visitation over? Normally.
10 o'clock.
Okay. I'll take care of it.
That's cool. This I did.
I'm sorry? No, you don't want this guy out on the street, dude, if he didn't do it. I mean, if he did it. If he didn't do it, then it's a different story. I think you smile when I ask you things because you're on the spot. I mean, I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm almost, and I say I understand you're nervous, but at this point, dude, get it off your chest.
Yeah.
Get it off your chest. Don't, because like I said, tomorrow is a whole nother day. Don't take that burden to bed with you tonight. Don't take it to bed with you tonight and have that weighing on your conscience. This is the time now to get this over with. Because you got, you know.
Yeah. Okay, man.
Are you just, is this time thing the whole thing that you're scared to say what really happened because you're worried about that?
I already know I'm going to prison, man. I ain't worried about it. I'm going to be lucky to get out.
I don't know that, but.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, man. Just I did. Now you're smiling.
I'm smiling because I'm trying to read your mind, man. Hey, did you shoot the guy or not? Was Markel standing next to you?
Nah, he was running up.
He was coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. But you just keep going back and forth.
Yeah. Because I'm not worried about it anymore.
Then what, all right, would you tell him that, what made you shoot him? Was it the reaction? So,
I didn't, you know what I'm saying? That safety feature, I didn't do it.
what kind of gun is it?
I don't know.
I mean, what make? You said safety feature.
But I'm saying I didn't do what y'all do, you know what I'm saying, about the...
Oh, with your finger?
Yeah.
No, who would? I mean, the average person would.
No, yeah.
But that's what I was trying to tell you. That's why we do that.
Yeah.
So I tried to explain that to you. So you could.
No, yeah.
That's why we don't. Because what if I was walking in the door of a house for whatever reason, my partner's in front of me, and I get my finger on the trigger, and we're going to the door, and a guy behind me bumps me. Boom! I just shot him in the back.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to show you.
No, yeah.
So, who got out of the car first then?
I did.
And you're going over there.
Yeah.
And he come up behind you.
Yeah. But he didn't make it all the way to us.
Okay. Now, I'll know if you're telling me the truth, and I'll tell you why. Because I gave you something earlier, which was the phone call he was on. Okay? Now, all bets aside, don't lie to me, Henry. Because this, you know what, all this other stuff, if you tell me what I want to know, and you tell me right now, I'll know you're telling me the truth. And I'll get out of my chair and I'll walk out of here. Is that fair enough? Because you're the one.
I don't know what you're going to ask.
What am I going to ask?
Don't
answer it. Just ask me. What am I going to ask?
What was it?
Well, because that's what this person heard.
Yeah.
So tell me what was said. And if you tell me the truth, you'd be the only one to know because you were the one close enough. And I'll get up and I'll walk out of here. I won't bug you no more. What did you say to him?
I don't remember.
You don't remember what you said?
Just empty your pockets, give him money or something.
Were you already pointing the gun at him?
Yeah.
So he's like this, and you walk up, and you pass him,
I passed him, didn't pull it.
and you pull out the gun. And he's still on the phone?
Yeah. Like,
And you
put it
said
down.
he's bringing it down? And what did you say? You said empty. I'm just repeating. You said
Empty
empty
your
pockets. Okay. And what do you say?
He's like, what?
Okay. And then what do you say? Was he scared?
Shocked in a way. Like,
Shocked?
he was scared, yeah.
Did he say anything that made you know that he was shocked? Do you remember what he said?
No.
Did he say anything?
I don't remember.
So this guy, you got a gun pointed at him. He had a phone to his ear. You tell me in his pockets, and he don't say anything to you.
He was,
I mean, he's like, "Whoa, what's up with this?" Did he say, "Oh no, who are you?" I mean,
I don't really remember.
did he say anything?
Yeah, he said something.
What did he say?
I don't remember.
He said, "Kiss my ass." Was he mad?
Nah.
I mean, I know y'all didn't sit there and have a conversation.
Nah.
I wasn't like that. What did he say? I don't know. You're telling me the truth.
I don't know what he said. I don't even know.
What else did you say to him? When you said empty his pockets.
Give me the phone too.
Give me the phone. Then what do you do?
And he closed the phone.
Okay.
That's what happened. He pulled everything out, took everything off.
When you pointed the gun at him, did he ask you anything?
Like, what's that? Or something like that. I don't remember.
He said, "What's that?"
Like, what's going on?
Did he ask you what kind of gun it was?
No.
You know, like somebody would say, "Man, dude, what's, you know."
Like, what's that 9mm? Nah.
You're saying he asked you that?
Nah, I'm just saying, like...
Oh, he didn't ask you that?
Yeah, like in reference to what you said.
Oh, okay.
Nah, he didn't say that.
So let me ask you this. When you're standing there with a gun in your hand and you're pointing at what time did the gun go off?
After he took the stuff.
I mean, did Markel take the stuff or did you take the stuff?
I took the stuff.
So you got, look at me now. I mean, let's get real here. You got a gun out, right? You pointed at him. Your adrenaline's flowing. You're excited. You tell him, give me your stuff. You tell him, give me the phone. He shuts the phone. And now he's got a phone in one hand, right? He's reaching his pockets. He's getting his other stuff, right? So, and he comes out with the marijuana,
And some money.
the money, and the phone. Okay, and he hands all three things to you. So he's got his hands up here, and you still got the gun in your hand. And does he lay them in? Did you hold your hand all this? He lays them in, or did you take them from him, or?
I ain't take like not even.
I mean, think about
That's
it.
natural, just you know what I'm saying. Just
All right, just hold your hands up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You got a phone and some money, and which paper would fall down, so there's got to be some type of grasp to hold it. If I was going to come up and take three items or
yeah, pretty much it was
substantially
like this
size,
because he had the phone over there and then he pretty much went like this and handed it like that.
and then you just with one hand was able to grab all three things.
Like because he went like this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But grab it and then put like the phone on top.
Okay, so he's putting the stuff in the phones on top, and at that point so he's literally putting it in your hand, and at that point you still got the gun up, and that's when the gun goes off.
Yeah.
Did it scare you?
Yeah.
So
I was nervous, man. Scared. I
I
didn't
mean,
know what happened.
okay, so the gun goes off, and you went, what? Goodness, I didn't mean that to happen, or I mean,
I was like, oh shit. And I ran off. Went back to the car.
did you say oh shit, or did you just think oh shit? Did it mean you go oh shit and take off running? Okay, so you take off running back to the car, and Markel was coming up to you when all that happened.
As soon as the gunshot went off, I turned around and then I was like, no.
When y'all got in the car, what did he say?
Like what happened?
Did he say why'd you shoot him, or dog? What'd you do that for?
He just said let's go.
Okay.
Took off.
All right. So is that gun your gun then? And that's why you're saying you kept it under the seat?
No, it wasn't my gun.
It's still his. It's a gun he brought?
Yeah, but it was me.
Okay. But afterwards, you still had the gun that you used for protection when you went places and up to the time you got arrested, you said you came down here, you didn't have the gun in the car.
No, before then I didn't even have a gun.
Okay.
It was out prior.
Okay. And so you gave it to
My gun.
and he went off with it.
Yeah.
And that's where the gun should be to this day.
Yeah. With him. All gone.
Okay. All right. All right, I'll be right back. You need water or anything?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll try to get you back across the street here in just a minute. sorry. All right.
Shut the door on me.
I'm sorry. All right. Look at me. Just I got everything you said. Just want to clear up just a few loose ends. I'll make sure I understand you. Okay? All right. When you walk up to this guy, all right, look at me. The reason I want you to look at me is so I can understand what you're telling me. All right, because I talk with my hands. All right? This guy's, y'all see him. I know about parking the car. And all. This guy's walking down the sidewalk, right? And you're the first one out of the car. You're saying, and you walk up to him, right? And you have the gun in your back pocket. Where'd you have the gun at?
Back pocket.
You had it stuck in your back pocket, right? And it's 9mm gun, right? When he walks past you, you say he's talking on a cell phone and has his hands up to his mouth like he's talking on a cell phone, right? You're now walking down the sidewalk, right? When he's coming down the sidewalk and you get out of the car and you make it to the sidewalk, I'm assuming that he sees you coming. I'm thinking, or if he's talking, maybe he's looking the other direction. But all of a sudden, you appear on the sidewalk. Y'all actually physically pass each other on the sidewalk?
Yeah, like we don't touch each other.
Right. But he's going this way and you're going that way. But you both can stand on the sidewalk and you pass each other. When he passes you, does he, what's up? Or does he look at you? I mean, it's dark and you're standing in front of each other as you're passing.
Yeah, just like, like a quick glance.
Just a quick glance. Does he say, what's up? Does he say hello? Did you say, hey man, what's up? Because you said that.
That was good.
I'm sorry?
That was good. That means like, what's up?
Oh, you said to him.
Yeah.
Say it again?
That was good.
What's good? Okay, what did he say to you?
He's like, what's up? Like that.
Okay. But it was your job, you said, to distract him so that Markel could strike him. Was that correct? Okay. So when he passes and you ask him that and he replies back, he's still heading the other direction, right?
I turn around, ask him what time it is.
So you turn around. Now you're facing. He's got his back to you, and you're within a few feet of each other. And you ask him what time it is. What does he do?
He turns around. And when he turns around.
When he turns around, what happens?
Got the gun already out.
So at that point you've already got the gun pointed at him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so he's still got this up to his ear.
Yeah.
Do you remember if he had it to this ear or this ear? Do you even remember? Okay. And now you got a gun pointed at him. You got to be thinking he's somewhat surprised, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does he say to you? Does he say anything to this person who's on the phone like, oh, I'm being robbed, or guy's pointing a gun at me? Does he get excited?
Just like, that what happened? Like, what's going on?
So now you got a gun pointed at him.
Like, what the fuck? Like what? And then I let empty out the front.
Okay. Now, when you tell him to empty out your pockets, how close are you to him?
Arms reach.
Okay, so stand up. You're you, and I'm him.
Arms
Okay.
reach. So
All right.
probably, plus the gun is like about.
Okay, so let's
You know what I'm saying?
point your finger out. Basically, ballpark. That's the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand still. You show me where you're at.
Yeah.
You
Touching him.
So you're almost touching him.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is the gun pointed at?
To his head.
Show me where. Okay. I'm gonna sit down. I'm a little tall. I apologize. But I would be standing up.
Yeah.
Show me on my face where you pointed the gun at.
To his eye.
To his eye.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You sit back down. All right. So now, how close were you?
Touching him.
So the gun's actually touching his face.
Which eye?
That's my next one. Yeah. Which side of his face?
This.
Okay. So I'll tell you what.
So
I'm still standing. Come to me. I'm
Yeah,
comfortable.
it's this side. I was just trying to figure out what's
Okay.
God wants the left or right side.
Because he's now, when you said
Like
that,
face to face.
but he was walking this way.
Yeah.
You're
So he
walking this
turned
way.
around.
He turns around like you're saying, which would put you in front of him. And the street's this way, and your car's over there. And you point the gun
Down his face.
dead in his face, and you're touching his skin with the gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
On his left eye.
Okay. And while you're doing that, he's in his pocket. Is he moving because that's uncomfortable? Is he just
No, he just cause put the pressure on.
push against the skin? You mean? Okay, with the barrel of the gun. I got you. Okay. And then what? Is he saying anything at this point? Is he nothing?
No, yeah.
Excuse me.
At first he just like, what's going on or whatever.
Okay.
And that's why I just started empty out his pockets or whatever. Just took his shit.
When you're pushing the gun, he's not on his face, not saying like "stop that" or "ow" or.
It's just like he making like a little grunt sound. Like
Okay. All right. And so you're touching him, and he's getting his stuff out, and he gives it to you. And at that point, when
don't give me the phone shit.
so at that point, he's still got the phone out then. Okay. And then
Close the phone and give him the stuff.
okay, and he gives you the stuff. And at that point, that's when the gun goes off.
Right, I take the stuff, start putting it in my pocket.
Okay. Okay. So when the gun goes off, what happens? Does he say anything?
He dropped,
Just boom.
and then I started running.
Okay. Where I mean, I know you say that's where you had it pointed. That doesn't necessarily mean because you know that, like in anything, if this is a gun and you go to pull the trigger and you move your rib, I mean, we're talking, right? So what I'm asking is, just to clarify myself, is if you move your hand just a little bit, then where the bullet strikes is a different location. I'm asking you when that gun went off, you were looking at him, right? Where was he shot at? Huh?
He's still on his eye.
Okay, still on his eye. So where did you actually see it strike him?
Like it pulled, like the gun jerked up, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
with the person. And I bounced back, like what happened? And just took off running.
Okay. When that gun went off, did it scare you?
Yeah. Well, it didn't scare me, just like because it wasn't meant to happen. You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah, it scared me.
So if you weren't quote scared, you were at least shocked because it wasn't something you were anticipating. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
When that gun went off, did you see where it actually struck him on the face? Meaning was
it happened quick. I still had it on his face or whatever. So when it pulled, it's like this quick reaction. And, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I'm just like I want to direct the question right. When that gun went off and you had the gun pointed at his face, what I'm asking you was from your reaction to all these things. I want to know: can you tell me where he was shot at? Was it in his nose? Was it his mouth? Was it his eye? Did you have it at where was he shot at? Did you see it?
I'm pretty sure he's still right here or whatever. Because the only thing that moved was when it shot. You know what I'm saying? That little jerk.
Okay.
So
when he fell, you had said earlier he had a white T-shirt on, and he had a hat on, and you said his hat was what color?
like a dark color.
Okay. And he still had that on. Did anything change when he fell?
Just the way he felt.
Yeah. Nothing else fell out of his hands or anything like that. Just him falling to the ground and you take off running.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll go back to our earlier question. I'm just trying to tie up some loose ends because it just seems to be something that doesn't make sense to us. Okay. When he handed you the stuff, did he hand you his wallet and the money was in it, or just the money was clearly in the open?
Yeah.
Was it folded in half? Was it just
kinda,
loose?
It was kind of like double folded.
Double folded? Did it have a rubber band on it? Did it have a money clip on it? Just double folded? Okay. And at no time y'all ever saw a wallet? Okay. Money, cell phone, marijuana. Nothing else that's changed. Markel's coming up to the sidewalk when?
As soon as the gun goes off, turn straight back around.
When the gun goes off, you said,
That's it.
okay, and you said that in your head or you said it out loud?
Out loud.
Okay, because it was shocking to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And he never said, other than what you said, he never said anything else to you? And he never asked you any questions or other than what you've said? Nothing else you can remember? Okay.
When you shot, or excuse me, when the gun went off, do you think that it was still close, or do you think it was maybe back a little bit?
Still close.
Still close? Okay. And what I mean by close is, do you think it was right here, or just is there a
No, it was still if anything, it was probably just like a hair where you couldn't tell.
so it could have been a little bit away, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Even if it was a
Even
little.
if it was just like a little hair.
And I'm just going to use this table as an example, just so everybody understands this. If this right here is the sidewalk, and this is the street, what is between the sidewalk and the street?
The grass.
Okay. And I know that because I've been there. So he's walking south on the sidewalk, and you came walking north on the sidewalk. Okay? And you all, this is him and this is you. So you walked past him. How many feet past him would you say?
Probably like maybe 2 or 3.
Okay. And you turned around and you said, "What time is it?" And he stopped.
Stop, turn around.
Okay. I'm going to, just so I know what you're doing, let me just do this right there. And you can put your hands up here. This is you and this is him. Okay, you stop here and you turn around and you said, "What time is it?" With this, and we're going to say the sidewalk's right here, okay? And y'all are on the sidewalk. And this is the street. Where did you go from here?
No, I stayed right here. Just like when I walked past him, turned around, he turned around too.
Mm-hmm.
When he turned around, I had him like this. They like kind of turned like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that was it. That's when you know what I'm saying? Everything happened, gun went off or whatever.
Okay.
Started running back.
And then you went that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the gun went off, you were standing here with your back to the street, and he had his back to the sidewalk.
Kind of slanted.
Kind of slanted a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And when the gun went off, what happened to him? I mean, you can use your hand to. I mean, did
He
he
just like talking down, just fell in one piece.
Okay.
Like without talking or nothing, just like clean.
Did you take anything from him after the gun went off?
No,
Did
took
Mark-
off front.
Did Markel take anything?
No, because Markel was in front of me.
Okay. And we had asked you earlier, and did you get any blood on your hands or on your clothes? Nothing whatsoever? Okay. Now the next question is probably going to be stupid because I'm a policeman and I should know this, but I don't work in narcotics, so I don't know this. You said the bag. Can you show me again about what size you thought it was? Okay. You're going to know better than me because I don't have anything to do with it. How much is that worth?
Probably like 20, 25.
So it was a 25 sack?
Like about a 20, 25, yeah.
Could it have been more? Could it have been less?
If it was more, probably just by a little bit or less by a little bit.
Okay. Do you know where he got these items from?
So the dude,
I mean, did you see reach in his sock? Did you see him reach in his waistband?
pockets,
Which pockets?
the front pocket,
Just his front pockets.
yeah.
He didn't get anything out of his back pockets?
Mm.
Anything out of his socks? Nothing out of his waistband? Okay. So you were convinced he gave you what he had?
I didn't like keep searching or anything. It's not like I patted him down.
Okay. Did you ever go in his pockets? Did Markel ever go in his pockets?
Markel never reached me.
He never reached him. Okay. And I'm just trying to understand here. Was your car the map that you had drew earlier? Was your car in that same spot? And that house had no lights on. This one, all that stuff is straight up. Okay. So when you ran back, who got in what seat?
I got in the driver's seat. Markel got in the passenger seat.
And what did you do with the gun?
I just threw it on the seat.
Okay. Before you left him at the scene and the gun went off, what was the very first thing you did?
He's like, I kind of jumped back or whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, oh shit, I just started running.
And you started running. So Markel never made it up to there.
You said that first you said it was a 38, and then you said it was a 9mm. And the question we're asking about position and all, and that's so we can tell a lot of that. You said, "Oh shit!" and you took off running. You're aware of guns, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. You know how to fire one.
Yeah.
Okay. You know the difference between a revolver you've already described and a 9mm, right? When you shoot a revolver, what happens?
What do you mean, like, what happened?
When you shoot a revolver, what happens? Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
What happens to the gun?
The little thing clicks back, goes forward, and then it hits.
Okay.
And then the little thing goes in a circle.
All right, so I'm gonna help you. So that's and I understand what you're saying. The round thing is
Yeah.
the
And
cylinder.
The bullet stay in there. Then on the,
There you go. Bullet stays inside that gun.
On the gun.
The bullet goes. The casing stays in the cylinder.
And the casing on the other gun pops up.
Pops out. He said, when you said, "Oh shit," you took off running. Markel never makes it up there. Did you stop and think about that? Where that casing was going to go to? You didn't think that could identify you, or you wasn't worried about it? Or just wasn't thinking about it?
Didn't think about it at the time.
Didn't think about it at the time? So you would know at that point if you were telling me a lie or you were telling me the truth, that you know with a 9mm gun, semi-automatic handgun, that's what you said you had, right? Do you know what make it was? You don't know the brand name?
It wasn't my gun.
Well, I know what I mean.
Yeah.
Most people say
If anything, I know it wasn't a Smith & Wesson. So I think I remember looking at it one time, and if I remember, I think it was like a Jensen or Jennings or something. If there's a gun like that,
Why do you know it wasn't a Smith & Wesson?
because I would remember the Smith & Wesson logo on it. But whenever I looked on it, it didn't say Smith & Wesson. Did I?
but it's solid black.
Straight black.
Does it anything about this gun that stood out that you liked? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, look at the way guns are manufactured today. Was it completely metal, or was any of it plastic, or was there anything about the gun that made it stand out to you?
I don't know. It was all clean. It was black on black.
Was it a shiny new gun?
No,
Or
it
was it an
wasn't.
old faded gun with
wasn't
wear
shiny.
marks on it?
It wasn't like old. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like brand new. You know what I'm saying? It was like in
All right.
good condition.
Let me see if I can ask you another way. I was just trying to figure out what kind of gun it was. If when you had this gun in your hand, some guns you have to flip a switch to fire it, some guns you don't. Most pistols you don't. Sometimes if you have a gun in your hand to fire it, sometimes they have safeties on it where you have to squeeze a certain thing before you can.
Button.
Well, not the little button you push in, but some of them do. But some handguns have an actual safety in the grip, where you have to squeeze that part of the grip before the gun will fire.
Oh, no.
Was this just straight handle?
Yeah, straight hand.
Big fat grip or a skinny grip?
No, it wasn't a fat grip. Just I could hold it like this. You know what I'm saying?
Did it have did you know what a decocking lever is?
I don't know that much about that.
I'll give you a better example. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just brought it up. When you had this gun in your hand, does it have a trigger on the back where you have to pull it back? Or when it fires, does a piece, the trigger pop back and then pop back forward? Like kind of like a revolver? Or does the top of the gun go back and then go forward?
Back like that.
So to load it, you put the magazine in, you pull it back and let go of it, and it goes forward and it's loaded. You don't have to pull back on the trigger or set anything. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would know, based that he's already told you that we do our homework and we check everything before we. So you would know that when you said it was a 38, naturally I would know. Otherwise, if I found something laying on the ground, right? Okay. So you would know that if you shot a 9mm gun,
Gunpowder.
well, not gunpowder.
Oh.
What happens? You just said
Yeah, shell.
shell flies out. Okay. Right. And it was not an absolute to shoot him. That was because excitement, and that's why you said what you said when it went off. What did he say, Markel? Did he like jump? I mean, you got.
I just seen him because when I did it, you know what I'm saying? It popped. I kind of like jumped back real quick, and I just started running. You know what I'm saying? And then when I looked up towards Markel way, he was already towards back the car.
Okay. When he's here, and I understand what y'all described, when you went to run, did you have to step over him? Did you run around him?
No, just.
I mean, he's right, because the way you're describing is
when I jumped back, like, let's say he's right where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He jumped. I kind of, I was like, because I was shocked, so I kind of stepped back, and I just took off, so I kind of stepped out the way where, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much just ran.
Were you standing in the grass at that time?
Yeah. Were you on the sidewalk? Do you remember where you were standing?
Probably like half and half, somewhat, like my foot on it or whatever.
Now, what I mean by that is so if your foot was on it, but you think maybe one of your feet was in the grass?
Mm.
In the grass towards the road?
Yeah.
Do you remember where he was standing? I mean, he's walking down the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk. I know he's on the sidewalk, whatever. We kind of, when we turned or whatever, I don't know. I didn't picture exactly where he was standing, but.
Well, I got to ask the question
No, yeah,
because, that tells me
Yeah.
if you recognize where you were standing and it's those little detail things.
Yeah.
So he turns because you were both on the sidewalk and you thinking you were about half on, half off, and he was on.
I can see that.
So he never tried to run or anything. He just, you asked him what time it was, and he turned around. You already had it pointed at him. And you touched him on his face, and you were pretty much within, you're saying, small, an inch.
I know at first it went into
I would say the word centimeters, but we're talking when the gun went off is what I'm asking you.
Yeah, probably.
You were
I was like dead on.
dead on him. Okay. So you weren't standing from here to the wall. You weren't standing from where I'm at. You were touching. Okay. All right. I appreciate your cooperation. I appreciate what you're telling me. Sorry it happened. I wish I told you I had that crystal ball earlier. I'd turn it around and where none of it happened, but unfortunately I can't. And we have a job to do, and we got to figure out what happened. But I do truly appreciate your cooperation because there's people out there that want answers, and you know who that is. He had a family.
Yeah.
And we owe it to them to at least be able to give them some type of answers, don't you think?
Do you mind if I ask you one more question? And I'm only asking because I have to. And we're obligated to do this. The gun. My biggest fear is the gun is either used again or it's in an area where somebody might find it, like a kid, and then we have something else happen with it. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. Where is the gun?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, when was the last time you had that gun?
Like a couple of days before I was arrested. Like I didn't have it. Like that day, I didn't have it on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was with Markel. Markel had it.
So the last time you've seen that gun with your eyes
Was in his possession.
And where did he have that at?
In his book bag.
Where were y'all at when he had it in his book bag?
At the house.
Okay. Did you all ever discuss doing something with that gun? Or did you ever say we need to get rid of it? Or
Yeah, ask him if he's gonna sell it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know he wasn't just gonna dump it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was asking if he's gonna sell it or whatever. But
what did he say?
he was like, no. At least not at the moment.
I'm gonna ask you to look in your crystal ball. What do you think it is now?
If I was him, I would have sold it. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Where would he sell it?
Street. Like, because he hangs out a lot of places I don't, you know what I'm saying? God could have just hang on the west side, but he knows people on the south side. You know what I'm saying? I guess north side and all that stuff. So,
Can I
pretty
ask,
much it.
right. Can I ask you to look in your crystal ball again? With what we've learned tonight, what do you think Markel's going to tell us?
Mm-hmm.
And you know him better than we do. What do you think?
I could say I know somebody, but you never actually know what they're actually going to say, you know what I'm saying? Because heat of the moments put people in certain situations.
Did you all ever discuss what you were going to say if y'all were approached by the police?
We never even thought about it. I never thought about it until y'all actually came and talked.
What do you think should happen to Markel?
Mm-hmm. I guess probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, it's a law. You should probably be there too, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think that Markel has discussed this with anybody?
That I know of, no.
If he had somebody to confide in, who would he confide in?
The only person I know that he talks to is his old lady.
Think he'd tell her?
That I don't know how much. 'Cause I know he talks to her. He says he tells her, you know what I'm saying? A lot, but I don't know to what extent.
You had told me earlier that that he hasn't come down to visit you.
He came down.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
How many times has he been down to visit you?
Twice. Because the first time he came with his mom. And the second time he came with another co-worker.
May I ask who that was?
Damn, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Did y'all discuss anything about what happened when him and his mom were here? That's a silly question, but I would think so. But I gotta ask you because somebody's gonna ask me. Did you ask him?
Oh yeah.
When him and the coworker were here? Did y'all discuss it?
No, we never talked about it. We just cause he's kind of watching over my son. You know what I'm saying? Cause I asked him to when I got locked up, you know? And he just telling me about my son, telling me how he's helping my baby mama, you know, get around or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, and he asked me about, you know, in here, if I miss being out on the street.
How long ago? When's the last time you talked to him about? Just ballpark.
Last time I talked to him was
when he came here.
Yeah, that's when he came here. I said probably like 2 months ago.
I know he don't call you. Don't ever call him on the phone and talk to him.
When I first got here, I tried, but he ain't put minutes on the phone. So I talked to him one time because my baby mama put a 3-way for him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. How long ago was that?
That was when I first got here. Like, no. That was when the detective first came and talked to me about this case.
Okay.
Because I called him and asked him if anybody went to go talk to him.
What did he say?
He said no. Not yet.
Think he was telling you the truth?
I thought he was, you know what I'm saying?
The co-worker that came with him, was it a white guy, black guy, male, female?
He's a male. I think he's mixed, if not just a light brown. You know what I'm saying? He's probably like about this.
He's trying to reach up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's tall.
Yeah, he's taller. Kind of.
Like my height, or?
Yeah, like about your height.
So-
you know what I'm saying? Young dude.
Why did he come?
Just somebody come see me, I guess.
You don't know who it was?
Yeah, I know it is. It's just he was new to the, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To the business, and then we had a lot of new people, so I try not to focus names unless they be there.
But he came up to he came up to the floor and sat
Yeah.
in the room and talked to you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
chilled. Cause I know we chilled at the house before and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Cause he came over, we smoked, chilled at the work, you know what I'm saying? But other than that.
Ready to go back across the street?
Hmm?
You ready to go back across the street?
Yeah.
You getting hungry?
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Okay.
But-
We want to try and do two things. Number one, we're going to try and get you fed. Okay. And we're going to go there. We talked to that sergeant, and he said they'd do something for you. Okay. We're going to go there and pretty much insist they do that because it's right. I know you're hungry. I'm hungry too. The second thing is we're going to try and find your mother. Okay. Because she was wanting to come up and visit you today. So I don't know what the rules and regulations are here, but we're going to try and make that happen too. Don't know whether they're going to be able to,
Oh, yeah.
but we're going to try like hell. Okay.
Yes.
So we're in their house.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder for us to.
Contemplate this.
Well, it's harder for us to make things happen.
Yeah.
You know, if we were in Clay County, then I could say, hey, you know, so I have to go by their rules. So
Yeah.
let us see what we can do.
Yes, sir.
We told you we do that, and we're going to follow through with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you need right now?
Oh, no, I'm good.
On your statement that you wrote, that you hand wrote, is everything in that statement true and correct?
Yeah.
Everything is.
Well, except for the part that the dude swung back.
Okay, meaning the victim.
Yeah.
He never swung at you. Okay, but everything else is true in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, after Hector confessed to being the shooter, the detectives have some unfinished business with Markel. They still need to get a confession from him too. For starters, it would be helpful for him to admit to being at the crime scene. So they play a little trick on Markel. They go to his house and they play this audio clip from Hector's confession video.
As I was on my way to go hit him, I seen Markel pull out a gun, pointed at his head, and told him to empty out his pockets. The dude just, you know, gave him the stuff, pulled it out, just gave him everything. Markel snatched the stuff pretty much like almost immediately, if not like a minute, like 30 seconds after. He pulled the trigger.
Notice they didn't play the part where Hector admits to being the shooter. They only played the part with Hector accusing Markel. Now, Markel didn't like this too much, so he said, yeah, I was there, but the roles were reversed. Hector was the shooter. And with that, both young men would finally be brought to justice. Markel would receive a life sentence because in Florida, if you're a part of a robbery where someone dies, you get charged with murder. Hector, he would get the death sentence. Now, if you think this case is over, I have something special for you. Part 3 is going to be a treat for you crime junkies. Make sure you tune in tomorrow or just check the description box if it's down the road. Thank you for watching. They Caught Me. Till next time.